Salute, brothers. Forgive me. Struggle streaming a little bit over here. I like what the other brother said. Salutations. Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing tonight, man? How you feeling? I pray all y'all are blessed and well. Everyone's prosperous and enjoying yourself. I got you know, the big brother Machismo, another gentleman that has made it clear and free of the matrix, and he brought somebody along with him. You may know who he is. You didn't see him once or twice already. He didn't spoke. So let me go ahead and pull us up now and get these brothers on stage for you. Bang and bang. Can you gentlemen hear me?
Yes, sir.
Loud
What's
and
up,
clear.
homie? How are you? What's up, family?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me, Playboy?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Loud
All
and clear.
right.
It's going
Well,
well.
how y'all doing now?
No, man, it's good, man. Just checking in. This became pretty popular. These calls from Colombia, so we gonna do it again. Um, whatchamacallit? Watch Storm might pop up in here later, and then Stoic Nomad. He down here in Colombia with me. That's Quiet Storm, homie. Who had check in on me. So we should have a good combo. He in cybersecurity, ex-military. Um, you feel me?
Right, right.
Matter of fact, actually, I see him in the chat right now. What up, Nomad? I see you. I'm gonna drop the link for you. Go ahead. That's all you, Playboy.
Uh, you gentlemen, I look forward to Wednesdays now, Wednesdays and Sundays, because chopping it up with you has become a thing. It's a thing. It's a whole thing, man. And hearing your experiences down there and your perspective, your worldview is it's refreshing, bro. It's refreshing because I know, like, once you make it clear here, your head gets clear and you start viewing things in a whole nother light. And I know you've been tracking what's going on here stateside. You can't help but to. I know you seen what Trump did, right? I know you saw it.
Oh hell yeah. I got some of my day ones who still blue pill and they freaking out just like the press and all that, which is crazy. I just hit niggas back and was like, yeah, all this is good. So they flipping out. But yo, I'm glad Trump rolling like he rolling. He came in scorched earth. You know what I'm saying? Not playing around, straight scorched, and that's how you gotta do it.
Hey, I love it, bro. I fucking love it because I was just watching. I'm like, oh yeah, this here gonna be good. Like that presidential photo.
Hmm.
Yeah, that just had the look of, bitch, I'm gonna get you, written all over it. I'm gonna get you, motherfucker.
No
So
man, I fucking love it, bro. Like he just came in not playing no games. Like everything he said he was going to do, like he came in right to work. Like only so many genders, the whole shit. Like bro, renamed Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. Like yo, he really got them out there stressed and losing it.
no bull, no bull, no bull, man. Like this, it's crazy to me, but to watch it play out. But I knew. I'm like, yo, if he get back in office, it's a wrap. He said, "Oh yeah, AKA the Red Hawk." Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's needed though because they play fast and loose with the country, dog, and it put it put things at a point where a box of cereal is like 12 to 15 bucks depending on where you live at. Like, who the hell wants Frosted Flake for $10? Like $4, $15, yo. It makes no sense. So I'm happy. I'm happy that he's pushing all the bullshit out the way, and we get a chance to see it. I do think these are going to be some. Uh, this it's going to be a wild 4 years. I do believe that part. It's going to be a wild 4 years, and getting everything back is not going to be easy. But just What what's your view like from down there, Machismo?
I think
My
he's
bad. I had
muted.
myself muted. The Colombians I didn't talk to down here actually all are all pretty much pro Trump. I was uh I was at Rico's last night shooting content. I was shooting most of today too. I interviewed the owner and stuff yesterday and today. But there was like Colombian dudes in there, and we was busting it up and everything, and like they drink down here. So Owe was drunk, and he was like, "Oh, what about Trump?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, America, Trump." Like they're real hype about Trump. The boy gave me his he got I guess there's these hats that they like the traditional dudes wear when they be what you call it like cultivating the cotton and everything like that. I mean, not the cotton, the coffee down here. And he actually had one of the hats. He took it out of his trunk. He gave it to me. So I got like an official Colombian dudes in the coffee field hat. I was wearing it yesterday when I was at the bar and shit, looking like a cowboy. That shit is crazy. But no, they all the dudes I talked to are actually pretty pro Trump. I just think they like the whole machismo. And then you gotta remember Trump was already like an international celebrity anyway.
Facts, facts, facts. What's your view, Naaman?
I think we are in the time of the Reparation 10. That's what I would like to say because you have this, um, I would say, time with Trump and Vance, and I think depending on how they perform, which so far is looking good. I mean, they're starting strong. That if let's say Vance runs for the president for the next upcoming election, I think those would be the 10 strongest years for most of us to get our shit together and, choose where we want to live the rest of our lives.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you, Vivo. Like, I think that even after Vance, you still got Vivek, and there's a possibility that everyone could get real comfortable with the way things are running, and get into that mindset of well let's try let's give the other side a chance again. Maybe they learn something. No, no, no. Keep Vivek going. You know.
See, Contractor, the way I look at it, if you see some of the things that are unfolding starting 2025, is
Mm.
that a lot of bullshit is starting to actually come up, and people are actually seeing the true face of that. Either that is to look at how Obama was, like how his optics were looking at the funeral with all the other important people there and Michelle Obama not being present there. That was not a good look. But at the same time, this in general has a particular image um, that people are just starting to look at. And depending on how you look at things, you are going to believe in, like, okay, like things that we have been saying so far, which I would say are more left leaning politic people. They're starting to see like how people are actually moving behind the scenes. Other than that, like, with the next 10 years, I think something also that is becoming prominent, if you look at just the numbers itself, is that it's a capital exodus. A lot of people with money or who have money are actually moving out of the Western countries. So you obviously have people with strong time politics believes that, oh, like let's say Trump is now in power, so the country's going to do great. I'm going to stick around here, or whatever people are saying. Sometimes people are just saying just because that's the cards they have to play with, and that's what they want to show you. But one thing I think everyone can agree with is that most people are beginning to understand that the Western civilization is declining, and people are beginning to look at the whole globe as, like what position they must have to work with. So
No, I agree. I agree. Stoic Nomad was up. He
Exactly.
just dropped.
Yeah, and naming when a stoic nomad comes up, he's stoic nomad. Security reasons, so you can't say his name. Okay, because we both know him, contractor.
Mm.
Yeah, it's stoic nomad. He'll re-hit the link. It's probably a device thing. He probably dropped. He's down here in Colombia too.
Yeah. Understood. Understood. Well, here we are once again, another Wednesday, and I get to chop it up with you two fine gentlemen. And so, tell me about your experiences in Colombia. What you been doing, bro? What you been doing?
Um, well, actually, we had the show. Okay, Chalupa he said he's arriving in Cali tomorrow. Bogota right now. All right, dude, you should hit me up. Probably can link up at Rico's. That's the spot. Um, no, Tuesday I went down to Gringo. Which was yesterday. I went to Gringo Tuesday yesterday for like a bit. But the Gringo Tuesday, the hotel's right down the street from Rico's. So I was at Rico's all yesterday, and Doug, who's the owner, was there. So I ended up whatchamacallit, I ended up buying some cigars from him. He gave me a bunch of cigars. We sat outside. They brought the tables out, sat outside, and we smoked cigars. I had some food and stuff. I ended up videoing him, interviewing him about owning the restaurant and the Airbnbs there. And he's got a call center across the street. And then I didn't know that he flies out and sources like fish from all like the fish vendors like in Bogota and all over like directly from. He doesn't use a middleman and he gets them shipped. Yup, Rico Ricci's. Yeah, I'll be there for football Sunday. All right, bet. Well then we watched the game. What you call it? All right, cool. Uh drop a comment on like my either email me. My emails to the channel is on about, or drop a comment on the community tab and I'll link up with you. So then we was talking about all the fish. So then he brought out like he got two baby barracudas fried up for me. So I ended up eating barracuda yesterday, interviewing him. And then his son flew in from Atlanta. He races the like the they call them go-karts, but they're like the little mini F Formula One joints. It's like big money down here. So I ended up linking up with him, and then I ended up shooting content with him all day today. Like I met up with him at 10:30, and so he took me on a tour of like the other Airbnbs they have down here. Like, dude's got a lot of property down here, and they're nice, bro. Like nice properties. So I got a tour of the properties. I shot the video for that. Interviewed his son, and then we walked Chippy Choppe Mall. I got a bunch of content for that. Then went back down to Richie's, shot some more content. So I got a lot of Colombia content to edit up and drop some videos on. So yeah, I mean that's been like my last 48 hours, and then I had to get back here, do the check-in with y'all. I actually right before we got on here, I was on the phone with Saul for like 45 minutes and everything. He out in Cali. Oh, Irvin Reed with a super chat, $5 super chat. It says $5 super chat. Irvin Reed. It says either you eat crow or you are the crow, but you can't do both. And Trump, and Trump is exposing who is which. In other words, hashtag F all you hoes, LOL. I can't do the drop from my channel, bro. We dual streaming from contractors, but you know what? I'm gonna send him the drop so he could drop them doing the super chats next week. I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna send him the drop so he could drop them. Yeah, I'm the streams on contractors. I'm just dual streaming, so we get a two for night. Yo, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing. Yo, Stoic Nomad is back.
Stoic Nomad, salute, big bro. How you doing, man?
All good, man. Just sitting here chilling with the lady. How you brothers doing?
Pretty good, sir. Pretty good. Pretty good. Good to have you. Good to have you.
All right, good to be
See,
here.
for me, it's amazing to talk with you brothers while y'all are down there. and just their lived everyday experiences. Um, I've been screaming for years for brothers to get their blue books and go, but sometimes they think that it's something that's not obtainable. But then you got a gentleman like yourself and Machismo that are actually doing it and living it. So this whole thing, this whole call in check in show was really about y'all just like chopping it up and with everyone else and breaking it down and just talking about your lived experience down there. Because if you doing it, that means it's possible. Some people believe it can't be done. They have to be stuck here stateside, and that ain't the case, man. That is not the case. But I used to be a expat government contractor, so I've been all over the world myself, and I know what's out there. I know what life looked like abroad, and my dumb ass was having to come back and stay. so so I know how life looks. But you got one, two, three, four people on here that's like, no, you it's something more than just the U.S. stateside. In fact, if given opportunity, you most likely will try to spend as much time away from this motherfucker as possible. You know, but just everyday lived experiences and a little bit about yourself. You know, with the parts you can share without
Gotcha,
compromising
gotcha.
yourself. You know,
Yeah, so a little about me. Former military, currently still working in IT right now. Been living down here. It's been about 6 months, but I traveled all over the world, and it's crazy the different perspectives you get while just leaving the country. And it goes back to what you were saying that a lot of brothers don't really think that this is possible. And that's one of the things I kind of wanted to come on, hop on here and say is just like, of course, it is possible, but the first thing is you have to change your mindset, and that's the biggest thing. 'Cause a lot of people don't think they can do this, right? They're like, oh, how do I find a remote job? How I do this? How I do that? And it's just good that we all share this space because they can see the resources that make this possible. Like a lot of people don't know, I'm actually a student of one of good brothers in here, Theo, right? And through Theo, a lot of this was made possible. I've always made pretty good money, but the point is was just being able to be remote so I can just, travel and see other things. So it's just mostly, man, like if I'll be the shining example, right? I have a young lady here I met. Heads up though, if you guys really want to get some quality women outside of the states and other countries, wherever you go, you got to learn the language. There's no getting past that. So you got to know language, and after that, it's just changing your mindset and just being open to new experiences.
no, I completely agree. Learning language is a really big part of it, and changing your mindset. That's another part I think a lot of brothers struggle with. Because for me personally, before I got my opportunity to leave, I didn't I didn't want to change. I didn't want to learn anything new. I was in my own little bubble, and I was comfortable in that bubble. So it was a culture shock when I hit Germany, when I hit Paris, when I hit Sweden, when I hit Amsterdam. I didn't want to. I fought that change, man. I fought it tooth and nail initially in the beginning. Then I stopped, and I didn't know you were a student of Theo. So that yet again, shout out to Theo Waff. Shout out to Theo Waff, man.
Oh
Theo
yeah,
been changing brothers' lives for the longest time, man.
yeah, and let Nomad when you spin it around, let him double down on the Theo thing, because he's from the OG class. I think he's from the original class, like the original first class. So somewhere along the line on the stream before he gets off, you should let him tell the story of what it was like in the actual first class, because he's one of the official graduates with the remote job. Like basically, he's got all the bells and whistles we talk about. He's where I'm trying to get. So yeah, before he gets off the stream, you should let him tell the OG first class story. Because I was talking to him and I was like, yeah. blah 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 blah. I'm studying for certain blah 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 blah. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I already got mine. I just got my AI so and so. I'm already working." I was in Theo's first class. I was like, "Oh, okay." True story.
Yeah, Theo been changing lives for a hot little minute, man. I'm trying to tell you, Theo's the man. Slim, he's the man. He's the man. He's been helping brothers for a while, man. And I appreciate the fact that even if Theo stopped today, there are other brothers that have taken the class that'll pick up where he left off. You know what I'm saying? Because he's done such a great job at it that really he can just step back and let everyone else like run the classes. But Theo is a good dude, man. He's a good dude. He ain't have to do none of this, but he did it, and he showed and proved. You're talking to one of his former students right now, so shout out to Theo,
Yeah, and
man.
Naaman met Stoic down at this conclave that just passed. So um, they could tell that story too, because like that's really Naaman's real first introduction to the con. You know, he knows the space. You know, because he was watching the content, and you know he's a friend of the channel because he's the homie. But that was his first foray actually into the conclave and meeting all the personalities and stuff. So him and Nate kicked it down there. So they're him and Naaman kicked it down there. So they're familiar with each other.
Yeah. Well, hell, well, between Naaman and
Stoic.
Stoic Nomad brothers, if you want, tell your stories, man. Tell your stories.
I
Open
let
us up.
I let Stoic go first since he has seniority.
It's all good, man. So I guess we can start from the beginning. Kind of how I just kind of met Theo. So originally, coming out of the military, you go into it, and I served for a good amount of time. But after seeing the world and just being where I'm from and seeing a lot of things, you realize that kind of the way life in America was going, like something isn't right, right? So like any person who kind of stumbles upon the space, you go to YouTube, you go to Google, you start typing things in like, hey, why doesn't this make sense? Am I crazy for thinking this? Like it seems like things are changing. And then kind of realize that a lot of men all have that same story, right? So going into it, looked up a bunch of things, stumbled upon BGS, right? Watching BGS for a long time. Shout out to BGS. And some of the information he was given, I resonated a lot with it. And I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy, and this is an elder giving me the game about why I'm not crazy and how things are and how things are going. So long time listener, and one day, I'm listening to one of the streams. He has Kevin on there, Kevin Samuels. So ended up listening to Kevin, resonated with what Kevin was saying. Leveling up, taking care of yourself, taking care of your mindset, making more money. Make sure you dress right, smell good. It all resonated with me. Right, doing the work, and I ended up actually doing a consultation with Kevin. Right, so that actually was a big thing because in that consultation, I ended up being added to one of Kevin's groups, and in the group is actually how I met Theo. And I met Theo just based off one of the live streams Kevin was doing, and Theo was going to live stream. Theo was saying, "Hey, like I'm sitting up here and I'm making crazy amounts of dollars." And Theo was, and I believed him because just the way Theo spoke and how he went about it, I was like, "Okay, this guy's legit." So ended up after a while, both Theo and I ended up being mods for Kevin. So we did that, and then we had the group, and then Theo was just saying like, "Hey, you brothers, want to learn how I made this much money? Like I'm holding an event, which was the first inaugural Black Manosphere Conclave. Just it was Theo. I want to say what's what it was. Theo Sub Zero. Who else was there? It was Theo Sub Zero. Oh my gosh, I am forgetting.
I think
Minister Jab,
Pablo
Minister
Escobar.
Jab, yeah, Paul Frescobar, and who else? Hmm. Sorry, the names escaped me. But ended up meeting, going to the first inaugural, and it was a pretty good turnout actually. Uh, and just got to chop it up with Theo, and that's when I realized while we were doing a bunch of just the AW stuff that we learned on the first day, I was like, okay, we can do this, and which is brothers helping brothers, which was a big, big thing that I appreciated. And so of course, skip down the line. I'm in Theo's class. I get a bunch of the certs, and I have to do it fast. And I'm pretty sure as you guys can attest to, Theo is going to make sure you know what you're doing, but it's also grueling. Like it's kind of fast paced at times, which is good, but it means you have to pay attention. You have to put in the work. So skip a few years. I get like two different jobs. I ended up moving for one of them, but I already knew like the next job I get, I wanted to be remote just because I was tired of being in the States. So the current job I have right now, I end up getting that. At one point, I was making close to 300K, but I ended up leaving that job just because, like I said, they returned to office, so I wasn't gonna do that. So as of right before I left the States was actually the last conclave, which is where I met Nate. Got to sit down with him in a quiet storm. Just got to chop it up a bit about what plans were, what I was going to do, what they were doing, and I got to know Naaman more. He's a real solid dude, which I appreciated, right? So just trading like war stories, like, hey, I've been here, I traveled here. What do you think about this place for like doing this? And I just let them know, like, I'm going to Colombia, and there's actually a young lady that I've been seeing for a while down there. I'm actually currently with her right now. She was like just real solid. She's actually helped me out a lot when I was getting settled up down here. So that's how I kind of got my way around a little bit, know where to go, and it's it's crazy when you just kind of have that person who's kind of show you the ropes, because then you're able to dive into the culture a little more, which I feel like what everybody should do. Which is why I say you should stay more than like if you're gonna go to a country, you got to stay at least 2 weeks or more, just so you get more in tune with the culture to really see if that's somewhere that resonates with you. So I really feel like the ultimate goal for a lot of us is to kind of get out of the States. But now that could be me just assuming too. So it was actually pretty good that I met Naaman, and I already knew Quiet Storm from a while back, which ended up helping because when Machismo came down here, actually Naaman and Quiet Storm both reached out to me like, hey, you got a guy down there, can you just make sure you take care of him? Just knowing that those guys were solid, I was like, yeah, like without a doubt. Like just give him my number. Reached out and we were able to get him settled in, which is good. So now, if anybody comes down here, just know you have somebody in me that you can reach out to.
Hey, give me 1 second, big bro. 1 second. Hey, Tevin King, congratulations and push, bro. Push, bro. Get your money, Slim. Right there. We have another one that will be on his way. All right, please continue.
So I mean, that's just like pretty much the gist of it. Just life down here is good. I'd say so far, just the difference in food, quality of health. And a lot of people think like these countries are just like, oh, like third world, they're so dangerous. And I'm like, it's not. And then when people say that, I'm like, I can tell you haven't been here. I can tell you haven't traveled. I can tell you haven't delved into the culture. Because a lot of these places pretty much just living like in the States, except cheaper. And the treatment you get down here is a lot nicer. So I just want to say, if I can serve as just an example to anybody who wants to do it, like it's possible. If you have to get out of that kind of imposter syndrome, and I know it's a big thing because even I dealt with it at one point in time. But that's the main thing I need brothers to do. You have people that you can reach out to in the space. That's setting the example. You have to change it, and it's possible. Because before I was never even in this line of work before in my military career. That's something I had to pick up and just learn to fly. So it's possible. And if you want to, name, you can give a side of the story.
Stoic Nomad. What's the last thing you just said?
I said, like pretty much that if I can pretty much learn all this on the fly, that it's possible to do this. And I just need a lot of people to just get out of their heads and just kind of deal with that imposter syndrome. It's going to be tough, right? But anything that's kind of worth having is going to be hard to do. Otherwise, everybody would do it. So I was just
I would,
saying, but
what I would like to say, given since you are in the chat today, and I know usually Contractor and Machismo are the ones who are the people questioning, but with my brief conversations that I've had with you, I would say maybe I think you should share some of your inspirations that helps you push to get through where you are today. Because I think even with Theo, and besides your own personal story, you started pretty early with Theo. I would say when like most of the resources I would say that people have today in class 5.5 or class 6, that you guys didn't come up with those things. So a lot of things you guys had to do was kind of do it on the fly. Um, but just overall, I would say just the challenges and things that you were seeing in terms of life and how you were preparing yourself to like move out of the country. Maybe you could share some of that inspiration you had to make that move.
so one of the big key things that kind of made me want to move is because just being in the military, seeing all the different countries, you kind of know what life is like outside of the states. And I always knew, since I was in, I was like, I'm always going to leave again, just because I was just so used to it. The treatment's different, the food's better, the weather, everything, right? So that would answer that part. As far as some of the inspirations, as far as me kind of being in class one, because you're right, we didn't have as many resources, and we were kind of building it as we were flying it. But still did a great job because a lot of us in class one are actually doing very well for ourselves. Hopefully, I'll try to see if I can reach out to some and see if they can come over here and talk to some guys, give their stories too. But a lot of us did really well. The inspiration, I mean, a big part of it was Theo. Just knowing that there was also somebody who had to pretty much teach himself and was doing it in Japanese and was able to do it. Like, what's my excuse, right? So how can I sit up here and be like, oh man, this is tough, this is hard, when somebody who's been through hell and back was able to do it, and I don't have nearly the issues that or the obstacles that he had. So that was just kind of a big part. Also, you kind of military training kind of helped too because you're able to persevere through a lot. So I will give it that. But for the most part, it was just listening to Theo. I had my nose in the books, everything, all the like, resources we did have. I made sure I stayed on top of it, and it was just a lot of learning. I won't lie. Like, there were times where I would just be tired. I think at the time I was also going to school to get my cybersecurity degree, so it was tough. Um, but just knowing that we still had people, we would reach out to each other in class one, and just kind of just hold each other up. It's very important that you have a wolf pack, which is good that you, Nan, Cheesemo, and Contractors, you guys can be your own wolf pack, and just having brothers that are like, hey man, how you holding up with this? Do you need any help? This seem tough for you, or just like making sure that you're mentally okay. And you need that, especially because a lot of brothers these days don't have that, and that's where a lot of people end up struggling. It's because they're trying to do it alone, and it's just like, man, it's just tough, and the grind gets rough. I've seen people, start this journey with us, and they didn't make it, because it is tough, especially because it's not a guarantee. So you have to do it off the strength that you're going to be good enough, and Theo's going to teach you well enough. Eventually, your time is going to be better, be good, that you'll get that job. But the point is, so many of us have actually done that, especially from these more recent classes. That I'd say it's not a sure thing, but it almost is. All right, and I know eventually everybody's time is going to come, and I'll be there to celebrate you guys' successes.
Shout out to you, Bill. To you, big bro. Shout out to Irvin Reed with the $5 super chat. I think because the likes of Moist Watkins and Doctor, yeah, whatever, Umar, Theo's truth sounds so fantastic that you have to take a leap of faith. And you took that leap of faith and it came out, you came out the other side of it successful. And I hate to, forgive me for saying it like this, but my nigga, you said $300,000 wasn't good enough to go in the office? 300,000 couldn't get you in the office.
Man, just the peace of mind I had just living outside the country, it's just different, man. Just not dealing with it. And then you got to remember, right? Well, I'll tell you this. So that 300K I was making was a right before the time they ran the economy into the ground. And the company I did end up leaving, they started laying off a bunch of people. So I actually left at the right time anyway. But nah, it
Yeah,
wasn't enough to get back. It wasn't that. It wasn't enough to get back to the office. Just the pure freedom.
it
Just
is.
the pure freedom. But
Freedom
like I
and
said,
peace, bro.
yeah, exactly. And for the people starting out, there's nothing wrong with working in an office or having a government job starting out. But just knowing that I had another like the remote job lined up. If you're gonna give me the choices, yeah, I'm gonna take the remote. Because now look at me, I'm here.
Facts, 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 facts. Yo, I see some people want to see you do good, but most don't want to see you do better than them. I'm one of them people. I want to see you do better than me because it inspires me to do better too. And to hear these stories, bro, of my brothers that are out here making it and getting it at a high level, it's inspiring. It lights a fire under me, man. And you're walking, talking proof that um, everything that we were told was a lie. You know, they say you can't never make that much money. You can't be out here competing at a high level. That's what they tell you. And apparently, that's some bullshit because you're doing it. Uh, Theo assisted you in your process in becoming, and you brothers, guess what? Only thing holding y'all back is you because it can be done. You have a bunch of brothers showing you it can be done. My thing is more of the partnership with corporations. That's cool, but guess what? Once I'm done doing what I do, I'm a hop my ex and Theo's class as well, and I'm gonna be a student all over again. It's that simple. It's that simple, man. So, Naaman, would you like to pick up?
Sure. So my question really is that Nate filled up the plate so much. What would you like me to talk about?
Reinforce it, brother. Reinforce it. Reinforce it. Like just whatever comes to mind as far as the whole conversation. You know.
um,
And you can talk about also like the interaction down at the conclave with Storm and Nomad also, considering it was your first time there as well.
yeah, okay. So as you guys know, I actually went to the conclave because of machismo, and that's where I actually ended up also getting extra tickets for him to come next year because I asked him to come this year and he's like, no, I got too much going on. I cannot go. So I got the ticket for him for next year, which is 2025. And I was like, next year, which is now, I'm like, you're coming with me. So because that way we could be there and actually enjoy being at the conclave with everybody else. Um, when I got to the conclave, I'm very happy that Machismo played the right strategy for introducing me to Quiet Storm, and Quiet Storm basically was the main server for me, at least, that connected me to everybody else. So it was a good way for me to get connected to everyone and also help me build a camaraderie with people that I met over there. So I told Machismo when I was heading down to Houston for the conclave that I'm taking a bottle of brandy with me and some cigars. So I hope I meet a lot of interesting people who enjoy doing some of the things I like doing. Uh, and that's how I was networking with a lot of people. We would have our sessions during the daytime, and during the sessions, the breaks, we'd talk to people and be like, "Hey, in the evening, I found this cigar lounge. Would be really cool to sit down and chop it up with you and just get to know you." And that's where I met most of the people I'm in the class with. Um, and it was really good to meet a lot of YouTube content creators that were there, and it was finally good to see Theo in person. And Quiet Storm mentioned to me about Stoic Nomad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my boy's coming up. You definitely need to meet him." So I was like, "Okay, I'm down to see who this person is." And I didn't knew when he was sitting across from Quiet Storm, and then Quiet Storm introduced me to him. He's like, "Yeah, that's my boy." I was like, "Okay." And Quiet Storm, I remember seeing how happy Quiet Storm was saying Stoic Nomad, and that made me happy to see like how happy he looked. Because Quiet Storm, if you meet him in person, he doesn't express a lot. he's uh he's very good at masking. So, and that's why when Machismo texted him about the issue with his situation, um, Quiet Storm came up to me and pulled me to the side, and he's like, "Yo, look at this message." And then he's just kind of like hovering over the phone so nobody else can see it. I'm like, "Dude, it's just two of us in this corner." So I looked at the message and I was like, "Yeah, I kind of understand how machismo is." And that's when we just started thinking about how to get you out of US. A lot of us are trying to do the same thing, but like told you, Machismo, that sometimes you may think your situation is bad, but that's a blessing in a disguise. You just have to realize what you're looking at. I think a lot of times we look at our situations and we think, "Oh man, this is horrible." And Machismo, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but when we were doing our thing in Panama, and I was like, "You know what? Let me take you to some spot," and I strategically took Machismo to Cologne, which is a very underdeveloped bad area, but it's an interesting trip to do in Panama. And while we were there, Machismo was like, "Man, I think I'm better off with how my situation is." I was like, "Yeah," and that's what I'm trying to tell you. So 2024 was a very interesting year for us, I would say, and I'm happy starting 2025. A lot of us are um, in the process of implementing what we were working on in 2024. Um, Especially for Machismo, he's already in Colombia, and I think for a lot of people who listen to this channel or are listening to this right now, this is a good example for you to see that if you believe in yourself, you just have to jump. Um, Machismo was at the same spot in his life last year where like he just was looking around and thinking, should I jump? And he just needed, a couple people I would say that he really trust in to say, just jump. And that's why when I got him to jump, I was like, now do not bring your ass back here. Stay over there. So yeah.
No. I see you. I see you. You put it in the super chat. Yep. I told Machismo that if sometimes in life, if you don't move, life will move you. And messing with a dude like me, you ain't gonna starve to death because I'm a hustler. I'm a serialpreneur. So man, no matter what, if it's got to be if I go do a job and I need to tack on an extra $100 that way I can cash app you, bro, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm gonna make sure you're all right because I know $100 in Colombia goes a whole lot further than hell stateside. You can spend that and walk out of the grocery store with like 2 bags. That ain't about nothing. Um, but in Colombia, it's actually stretch. one of the I think Urban Reed asked, as far as the hearing that people, well, the questions I guess will be more so for Stoic. Uh, as far as the pitfalls, like for the people who didn't make it, what were they? What were the things that contributed to them not making it? Because he wants to know how to avoid it.
So one of the things, and this is something I keep reiterating on. You're probably going to hear me keep saying it throughout the live stream. It is self doubt. It's that imposter syndrome, man. Because it's like y'all were saying earlier. A lot of people out here are telling black men like, you're not good enough, or you can't do this, or everybody's doing so much better than you. And it gets to the point where a lot of people actually start believing that. And and I hate seeing it, especially because it's gonna happen because like you're gonna dive into something new, but don't let that stop you from not even opening the door to at least give yourself the opportunity to do something. So that's one big thing that happened. Like one person would fail like one test in the beginning and they would just quit, right? They would just quit just because they didn't pass the first test and they didn't give themselves the chance, right? You and I always tell people this, like you have people, some of the smartest people in the world, Einstein wouldn't, he had to take tests over and over again. He wasn't always the best, smartest man ever. So it's like you gotta give yourself the chance, and if you fail, you don't quit. Just look at it as like a learning opportunity. And if you're part of the Fields group, you have perfect examples in there, guys that just didn't give up and eventually they got it. And then the next test after that, they blew it out of the water. It's just hitting that first wall when you're first learning, because a lot of people are coming from this brand new. But you got to give yourself some grace, and a lot of people don't give themselves that grace because they're just so used to with it, whatever they do is used to succeeding. And like I said before, if you really want it, it's going to be hard, right? Because it's worth it. So it's just giving yourself more grace and believing yourself and not giving up. I know it sounds cliche, but it is something that actually does stop a lot of people. Two, bad study habits. That is another one. Theo, and the way he teaches the course, he gives you a lot of information, but you gotta stay on top of your stuff, right? A lot of people didn't. A lot of people was outside, and don't get me wrong. Even me, I enjoy myself. I like having fun, but you work hard so you can play hard. So a lot of people get distracted, and then they study habits will fall, and then they're behind in class, and then they got to catch up, and then trying to catch up, they lose the motivation because now it's like, oh, I'm too far behind. That's another pitfall. The third one, if you do see yourself not understanding something or kind of fall behind, you need to reach out to the group, right? You need to reach out to the people, the fellows that got your back. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna just do everything for you, but you can get tips and motivate, and help, and even have a little bit of extra motivation. Because, like I said, everybody in there believes in each other, man. Everybody in that group, and just in that community, they all want to succeed. They all want to see each other succeed, which is something I like, and it's something that for this side of the grid field, the master you want to say, I really do appreciate is the fact that, hey, you're doing well. You show me how to do well, and I want you to do well, so I can help somebody else do well. It's just passing that knowledge on. So I say those are probably my big three. It's just that imposter syndrome and giving up, not staying on top of your study habits, and three, just not pretty much using the group. You have a lot of resources, you got to use them. Hope it answers your question.
No, you did. You did, sir. The imposter syndrome is a very real thing. A lot of us don't realize that it can affect you until you get that opportunity to do better. And uh, like myself personally, I'm in the process of building this business out where I'm at, and I'm going to pass it off to my brother, right? And I set everything up for him. I did my due diligence, contacted all the people I need to contact, gave him all the information, and he's like looking for the fastest route to doubt himself. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. I built this out of nothing. Straight up, nothing. So don't before you make it all complicated. Well, what about this and what about that? Don't think about that. Just focus on the work. Focus on the work, man.
And you're right, and that's
So
something that a lot of people kind of had to learn. And Kevin used to say it, right? I know a lot of people used to listen to Kevin, but Kevin used to say it, sometimes you gotta build it while you fly. You just gotta figure it
exa-
the fuck out, and it's gonna suck, right? But you learn from those mistakes, and that's part of the
exactly.
learning process. And as you
Yeah.
learn, you fine tune your processes, and then just you streamline it. It becomes easier. It's like, okay, at this time I got to study. I'm study this, and I'm gonna do it like that. All right, this didn't work. How can I go a different route? And you have people again to bounce ideas off of, man. So I don't want people to sit up there isolated and just thinking they're gonna do it all by themselves. You you have each other. You are your brother's keeper. Reach
Yo,
out.
yo, I bounced so many ideas off Machismo. It's not even funny. Like real talk. He can tell you. I've called him multiple times. Like, yo, bro, big bro, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I'm thinking about adding this. I'm thinking about adding that. The other another brother, Mike Reed. That's why I totally agree. Like having that wolf pack is important. It's important, man, because you have people that I like what Kevin said. They help level set you, and you can like okay, they're gonna give you um as much real spill as possible. And yeah, this is a good idea, but that right there, that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. We had a storm out here some time ago, and it wiped out a good little chunk of North Cac. And I was talking to my brother, being Mike Reed, about going up there to go, to go do some work. And he told me straight up, don't go. Nope. He level set me. And I found out later on that he was absolutely right. Well, people up after that storm pretty much got abandoned, and that wouldn't have been a good time to go up there because it looked like something from Mad Max. So you need that group of guys that actually has your back and has your best interest at heart. And everything you've done for Machismo and um, between you and Naaman in Quiet Storm, bro, like I greatly appreciate you because you looked out for my brother, and we need more brothers like you. And I believe after this conversation tonight, there will be some more brothers coming down there that's going to need your guidance as well to help them navigate Colombia. you know, because now they know it's real. Now they know it's possible. You just got to get over that imposter syndrome. But once you do that and you realize there was really nothing to fear at all, eh, your life will change. So I appreciate you coming and joining us, man. I really do. I really, really, truly do. Because you're another example. It can happen. It can. you too. What's that like the old Price is Right? Come on down. You too could have all these wonderful nice things and eat pure food, non-GMO that ain't got a bunch of chemicals and crap in it. You too can have a wondrous life. Then on top of that, you're also a you're a former student of Theo, and we rock with Theo hard over here. So yet again, shining example, bro, of what life could look like. Where you are today ain't got to be where you ain't got to be where you at tomorrow. So anyway, Machismo, you got anything?
No, I was just letting y'all rock because I thought between Nomad and Naaman's conversation about the conclave and then everything, I thought it was good background because we talk Sunday shows. We push the line. We got our talking points. It's a orchestrated show. You know what I'm saying? We got to get through these segments and we got to draw the through line. Everybody got like a 3 minute time slot to make their statement or to provide pushback and rebuttal. Um, and the people that seen us do this for 6 seasons straight. So I think this is the first time that they've been able to kind of see actually like behind the curtain in terms of what actually happens behind the scenes, why we was defending Theo so heavily, which almost appeared to be out of the blue if you really think about it. Like, Theo popped up on streams, and then like, we was off to the races, and barking at dudes and everything, and me and Saul all over the internet trolling people in chats. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but when you hear Nate's story, and then you hear how I got down here, naming going to the conclave, you see all the moving pieces behind the scene, and like I think it gives people a good perspective about like, okay, we see the production end of it with the channel, but okay, this is how they got here, and this is why they go so hard. Um, in this direction, we double down on certain things. So yeah, I think these calls are fantastic in that regard.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot for a lot of our brothers, again, that imposter syndrome. You're gonna have to get over that. There ain't no choice. Give yourself no choice. I like what Quietstorm said. Uh, what he said, don't fucking give up. No excuses. Get it done. It's that simple. It's that simple, man. At the end of the day, everybody deals with imposter syndrome because I don't know. Maybe it's due to the way we're raised. Um, you doubt yourself, but even with that doubt, you still got to get it done, man. And Theo has a way of teaching that apparently it's become very clear to me that it reaches the masses of brothers. So now it's up to you, and I actually believe you deserve to get some of that good life that's out there waiting on you. But you're gonna have to put in some work though. It's gonna be some skin in the game that you gonna have to invest. A little bit of sweat equity. You're gonna have to learn, and you're also gonna have to change that. But also, I think that's another big part of it. A lot of people are afraid to change, bro. Because once you know better, you do better. But the moment you start doing better, you can't bring certain things and or certain people with you along your journey now. But I have a whole theory behind that, but I'll leave that part there. At the end of the day, um, just hearing about you, you said, oh, buddy had a barracuda for you.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
had yeah,
Yeah.
I had a baby barracuda yesterday, the head on, everything. Brought it out to the table, all cut up and everything, some mash and some vegetables. It was banging. Actually, I have some photos of it. I'm gonna post them on the community tab. And like I said, this was just a humbug. I came down to I stopped by there right before I went to Gringo Tuesday, and the owner just happened to be there, and he was like, "Yo," because I came, I bought some cigars too, because I don't have no good cigars down here. So I bought a bunch of them so I could take back to the crib. And he was like, "Man, you buying all these cigars?" And then he ended up giving me like 5 extra joints. And then he was like, "All right, well, my son ain't here yet, blah, 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 blah." He was like, I'll smoke a cigar with you. And then told everybody, bring a table out for me and him. So it was me and him sitting in front of the restaurant. He brought the food all out. I ended up breaking out the camera, and I was like, "Yo, you should let me interview you, about the restaurant and the properties and everything. You know what I mean? He from Atlanta." And I was like, "Brother, they need to see like, a brother down here like set up, situated for real, for real. You got properties, you got the hippest like restaurant and bar down here, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's legit. He got a call center directly across the street from the restaurant, because he manages, he's got a huge book of business like insurance. You know what I'm saying? So he got his
Right.
hand to like a bunch of little son. I was just like, "Yo, bro, it's just," and like if you told somebody that there was a black dude from Atlanta who owns like one of the hippest bars and restaurants in Cali, Colombia, plus has a whole bunch of Airbnbs on top of it with a penthouse, and then owns a call center across the street from it, plus owns a whole bunch of suites over by like a main mall, and flies back and forth to Bogota to get fresh fish for the, like, you motherfuckers won't believe that shit. Like, all
Yeah.
right,
I know.
you know what I'm saying?
I know. I know. I know. They
You
be
know what I'm
doubting.
saying?
They're like, nah, 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 not you, not you, not you. 'Cause,
And he's
you
not
know,
like an old man, bro. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so like I ended up, he was like, so he was with it. So I just had the camera up while we was eating, smoking cigars and shit, busting it up. And then other people started popping up like, "Oh, there's an old bro." It's crazy the shit you see down here. So like this old head dude, it's coming down the street, right, tall. You know what I'm saying? You see, but and then Doug was like, "Yo, he used to be he's retired military. He used to be special forces." And he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't say that." But bro, this dude had this huge cane Corso with like that purple gray coat, bro. And he was, yo, the chick he was with was like super bad, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, and he was like handsome old head dude, like still swole and everything, walking with a big cane Corso, and they headed up to the penthouse. That's one. And I was like, man, like you gotta, it's like a movie out here. Like you gotta, like you wouldn't believe it. If I told you the stories about like how like you just wouldn't believe that shit, and you were like, nah, bro, like for real, like and just random shit just start happening all night, like. I met like mad people last night because like people be flying in from Bogota and Medellin back and forth because Cali's like where everybody comes to like not detoxes but like decompresses because it's like a little slower and shit. But then like
Right,
but bro, yo
right.
yo, it's like a movie. Also, if the right time, right place is like a movie down here, and then like other times it's just quiet and you know what I'm saying, like you're in your residential neighborhood and like people are walking their dogs in the morning and like nothing's happening, which is why I like my neighborhood.
Urban Reed with the $5 super chat says Theo once said that he's so hard on you guys so that by the time you get out here, it'll be easy. How true has that been for you guys?
I'll let Nate take that one first, but yeah, I'll have a comment on that.
Man, I say
Uh,
it's been very true. Oh, sorry about that.
no, my bad. I did it again. Nomad.
So I'll say it's been very true, which is why I do recommend a lot of you if you can to get inside these courses. Right? You'll never hurt yourself by over preparing, but if you're underprepared, then you make yourself like an ass. So I'd say the way Theo's doing it is correct. A lot of people are benefiting from it, and I mean the proof is in the pudding. Theo by himself, and a lot of people don't realize this, and I have to give him his flowers. Right? Theo by himself with the people he's gotten jobs. He's pretty much made like a little mini economy, man. Like, think about it. Just if you take three people from his class, and you already have over a half a million net worth right there, right? Like just three people in his class, and that's not including how many other people in the new class are going to get jobs in the future. And it's just showing like if we can kind of pull together and like just be there for each other, man, like we can make a lot of things happen. And I don't know if Theo realizes that, but it's like what he's doing is such a big deal. Such a big deal. But yeah, trust me.
We
What
got
Theo's
Theo in the
doing is
chat.
gonna yeah, what Theo's doing is gonna make sure you're good in the real world. Hey Sensei, how you doing?
We got Theo in the chat. If one of y'all could drop the link for him, or here, I got it. I got it. Dang.
Oh yeah, and I'll drop it in my chat too.
Yeah, yeah. Yet again, Mr. Waff out here making soon to be millionaires. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear the stories and the experiences because ultimately, we all know the internet as we know it is forever, and this right here will be inspiration for some young man that doesn't see a way out, that's going through it. Myself personally, I grew up in the hood, man, and everything I learned was over time, and it was taught to me by the right people at the right time. So I didn't know how I was going to make it. So I do realize how important this information is, and a individual that's given so much like Mr. Wolf, and he's trained you um, and other brothers to pass that information on. That's hella important, man. Hella important. I would go as far as to say that what you've learned in this video will be enough inspiration to save somebody's life someday, some goddamn day, and damn sure change it. That's why I open the show up and I open the panel up like, yo, brothers, just chop it up, talk. Let them know. Let them know that it's another world out here and another life out here outside of your everyday lived experience here stateside. Because myself personally, once I'm done and I'm gone, I'm gone. I ain't never come back to this white motherfucker. You can have this shit. You can have this shit. I'm good. I have no more interest in being here. So at the end of the day, you brothers are examples of what life could be and what life could look like. And to hear the story about the old buddy with the big ass King Corso, that is jack crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That is jack crazy. And
Oh no,
and then
it looked gangster as hell because he was like, he was tall, like, handsome old head. He was like, he was dressed all fly, like I said, but like you turned around, it was, the dog was massive, bro. It was gorgeous though, but bro, he was with the super bad John, like, and we was just like, oh my, and then like Doug was like, kind of like, yeah, that's no big deal. That's what he does, type shit. He's retired. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh
That's
wait,
what's up.
I dropped the link for Theo too. He said the Ukrainian can wait, so he about to come up. So good. Everybody could bust it up. And I think we missed what, one, two. One said you
Oh,
got
by
it.
the way, while before Theo comes up, I just want to say something for Iron Reed for the question he asked. So I'll give you one example. Let's say GitHub. Lately, that is one platform that is being widely used. And if you watch, let's say, YouTube videos, it's going to give you an idea, but you still need to be able to use it in a practical environment. And the way Theo has the classes designed, it literally works like how I would say an apprenticeship program works. And he will show you and put you into situations where you will have to do things that you will see in your work environment. So by the time you will get into work, like you will, like you wouldn't, it nothing would be foreign to you. So like anything comes up, you'll be like, oh, I know how to do
Mm,
this.
yeah.
Oh, Theo's in. I'll let Theo take over.
Yeah, I make hey, thanks, sir. I I try to give as much exposure as I possibly can. And I anticipate a lot of gotchas. And a lot of the gotchas that I come in the class with are ones that I'm actually dealing with in the office. And so I'm bringing real world experience to them. So, um, for example, um, I just had the students do a rather complex pipeline with GitHub and TFP. It was not easy. I made you guys suffer for an entire week over that. Um, one of my companies right now, we're implementing that. You know, and to think that I'm making you guys do what is paying me at that job, that's over $200,000 a year. You guys are doing the same thing, right? It has to be on that level at all times. It has to be me giving you the real stuff, not nothing watered down. And I have to believe that you can do it. So I come in there with that belief and full confidence in you. And that's what usually gets the students motivated.
Contractor.
Yeah, my bad. I was working in the back. What up, Quad Storm? Salute Theo. Salute brothers.
What's going on? What's going on? Hey,
Another
Sensei.
day.
All right, you got like a new Voltron forming on your channel, Contractor.
It's all the heavy
Name
hitters, man.
Theo and
This
Storm.
little,
You got Nomad up here. All right, it's the new Voltron over there. All right, let's
yo,
get it. Let's get it.
this little itty bitty channel seems to attract all the all the heavy hitters, and I feel honored to have esteemed gentlemen such as yourself Because at the end of the day, these my brothers, y'all. These my brothers. Well, they're all very, very accomplished men. Straight up. And this the best shit. This is the best shit in the world to me. Straight up, dog. It's the best shit in the world. You got Theo Woff. That's number one. Then Quiet Storm pop up. God damn. Then Nate just came. Then not naming is damn. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words. I'm trying not to say nothing too off-putting and ignorant. Just to this is amazing. This is amazing. It's amazing. Straight up, man. Then Machismo one here, and he all the way in Colombia. It don't get no better than this. You brothers, go ahead. Please continue. Please.
What you would call? I was waiting for Storm. Yo, Storm, let Storm get a piece of this because he got Nomad up here. That's his homie. Like Nate's. I mean, Naaman's my second, and then what you would call? We could all and. Storm just I was actually just talking with him in WhatsApp. Like I seen he posted his Jenkins pipeline. And he was actually not even going to get on the stream. He was like, no, I got to catch up with this steel homework assignment. It's pretty brutal. That's why I was like, all right, I see you just posted your Jenkins pipeline. I'll catch you next time, boss. I guess Steel popped up. So he was like, screw it, I'll come up. So yeah, we could do the round robin on that. What up with you, Storm?
Yeah, man. Nana, I've been listening to her for like the last 5 hours, so I needed kind of like a break from her real quick. Luckily, she's nice and she is very supportive. I don't want to ruin that for Passport OG, but it is what a TI is. But shout out to my little homie Stoic up here. So I've been listening in quietly from the clouds, and I pretty much heard everything that Stoic said. I ain't gonna dox him, of course, because I know what Stoic used to do in real life. So we're gonna keep that there. But other than that, yeah, I've been up here. So everything that Stoic said, as well as Naaman said, was pretty much spot on. Met Eamon at the conclave based off of this word from you. Sent the email, you linked us up via the email, and I met him. Naaman is kind of not a hard person to pick out of a group based on his hats, as you can see up in his avatar. Very, very creative hats. I'm buying one day from him if he allows me to actually do that. But when I first met Naaman, he was very, very genuine, and he had the accent to where I was like, yep, this is Naaman. Obviously, of course, we linked up that night. We had dinner, got the word from you about the message, spent my phone around, and I showed it to him. We made our plan. He had wanted to actually go and smoke cigars and stuff like that. So I hit up my homie Stoic. Stoic was like, yeah, I'm in Houston right now, so I'm gonna link up with you too. And we ended up doing that. There was us three plus a fourth brother who is also in Theo's class as well. So it was just pretty much a good night. And from that night forward, like during the conclave, me and Naaman were just kind of just hanging out when we can. So that's what I can pretty much speak to that. As far as everything else with Stoic and Naaman, Machismo and stuff like that, like I said, Machismo had got the word up in Colombia. He had needed some help with something. The only thing that I did was I had took his message, I forwarded it to Stoic. Stoic said, I got him, man. If he's good with you, he is good with me. No words needed to be asked. I didn't pay that man. I didn't beg that man. It was just based off of the strength of my word because I've known Stoic for a long time, and he he obviously valued my word very well, as well as my reputation, and I value his. Like, don't let Stoic fool you. Like, Stoic is up here being modest. Stoic is a smart dude. Um, he is obviously one of the students of EO's OG class, but just to see Stoic's transformation from what he was when I first met Stoic to what he is now, complete 180. And, and I know um, he had kind of like a lot of mentors and guidance upon the way from Theo, of course, from Kevin, of course, from BGS, of course. Um, and he is a young dude too. So it wasn't just Stoic's appearance, it was his mindset. And I know that Stoic had he had mentioned right at kind of like the start of the stream of his mindset. Theo's class is not easy. I'm gonna just let y'all know that now. Theo may look nice up on camera on YouTube, but he is a Neanderthal in the class. But he does it for a reason, because he wants you to be prepared. And I'm hearing some of these stories of his students who is actually in jobs and they're actually working, and what they do in real life, and with these jobs, what these companies is asking them to do compared to what they went through in Theo course, they're looking like, that's it. And like, I only got to do this one thing or two things. Like, Theo was throwing 50 things at us. That's it, pretty much. And they getting a ton of money for it. So, like I said last week, like, Theo doesn't really have to say anything. Like, his students can step up here and run a panel by themselves. Theo can quarterback this and not say a word. And his students' success can speak for itself. And I'll land my plane there.
Shout out to Eric Jordan. $2 super chat. He says, fuck all these others. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you, family. Appreciate you. Irvin Reed said victory lap. Guess what? Dude, you have no idea the amount of joy I take in hosting this. Even though I don't see how you do it, Machismo, because it's a lot going on in the background, and I got to check this and check that. I caught the private chat. Say, make sure you catch the super chats. It'd be a lot going on, and you still have to talk. But these are my brothers. These are my brothers, man. These are my brothers, and we got Big Brother Theo making everybody millionaires around this bitch. This is the circle I run in. God damn it, straight up. And I am thrilled to no end to know that I got people like this around me. It feels good. It feels goddamn good, man. Cody, what's going on, homie?
Oh, I've been all right, man. Just inside because of the snow. We had like 10 or 12 inches of snow in New Orleans yesterday. So, I'm just inside waiting for the snow to melt and get back to work again. Other than that, after this thing is over, I gotta get on this art project I gotta do.
Right. Have you considered taking Theo's course?
Well, I never heard of Theo until recently. So, I'll take Theo's course. I know Theo would pretty much challenge me a lot.
Yeah,
he'll put me on the hot seat.
yeah.
They don't look like he don't play no games,
No, true. But you need sometimes you need excuse me, that group of brothers around you to help push you to help you achieve what you need to achieve. And I'm not gonna lie, the day I made Machismo promise, I said, "Yo, I'm gonna build you a business that you can run from Philly." And I went ahead and started putting all the parts and pieces together to make it happen. It challenged me. Then he up and moved to Cali, Colombia. I said, "God damn, God damn." So you need your brothers. You need your brothers around you. That's gonna help keep you pumped up and inspired to move out here. And Stoic he keeps dropping. Stoic, you there, homie?
That was actually my class that was part of the design. So my view was that if you saw your brothers being successful, you yourself would want to be more successful, and then that energy would transfer to other people as well. And this would be a continuous process. And then when you saw the history, this is why I keep everything in one group, so you can actually go through the history and see what the people did, right? And so you see all these brothers, one after another, being successful. You know that you're just one more step in that ladder. This is just your turn. That's it. Later on, you could be helping other people do this. So as long as you have that idea and that mentality in the class, and then it actually happens to you, and you recognize that that you're going to be successful as well, it can't help but energize you and make you even more energetic, even more hopeful, and then go out there and be successful. So that's why I designed the class in the way that I did.
No, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense because at the end of the day, if I see you accomplish it, then that just reinforces for me that it can be done. And when you have a whole ecosphere of people around you that are all getting it done, you're gonna want to get it done too. So it's an ingenious design. It's just a matter of, will you take the leap of faith? Because you've already worked out all the kinks. You got the plan. You set the groundwork. Now are you coming or not? That's it. That's all.
Yep.
So salute to you. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you, sir. Because you made it happen. You damn sure made it happen. Stoic is an example of that. He's from Gen 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
how you doing? How you doing, Stoic? How's life? Are you in there?
Life in Colombia is great. No complaints. Yeah, earlier on the stream, I was trying to give you and I wanted to give you and Obsidian your flowers, because I mean, without the first Black Master Conclave, none of this would be possible.
Yeah. No, I got to admit, again, now I know who Stoic is. Stoic is one of my best students. He did a very good job. And as he will know, I kicked his butt many times. And if I'm particularly going after you and I'm aggressive, it's because I believe in you. And I don't want you to do something stupid. So if I believe in you and you're like, I'm like, you're just a few steps from being successful, and then you give me this crap, I'm going to be aggressive towards you and really push you to be successful. If I'm being gentle with you, it actually means I have a lack of confidence. So you see me in class really pushing a student, that means I'm really confident in that student. Right? Like, I know you can do this. Like, stop it. And I got that mentality from my first really big security manager. And this was in Japan, and he was a former Marines drill sergeant. And that's what he was with me. He just pushed me to the end. And I I never thought that I could be as successful as I was with him. And again, gotta give you the story of the CISSP. I'm a certified information systems security professional. I had never even heard of this certification before, and there's a lot of requirements that you're supposed to have, and I had never heard of it before. And my manager just looked at me in January 2001 and said, "You're going to have this certification," and nobody had it in Japan. It wasn't even offered in Japan. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but he says, "You're going to have this certification this year." And December 8th, 2001, I passed it in Hong Kong. I failed it once in Singapore. And but 2001 was the big story about how I actually got that certification. And it was that manager pushing me to death. I thought I was going to break with that guy. I did not. I became Japan's 5th CISSP. I was the first foreigner to get it in Japan. For a while, the only bilingual CISSP in Japan was black. It was me. My salary went from $85,000 to $120,000 in one day after I passed it. And I never forgot that feeling of empowerment and of value that I could actually be important in security. I just never forgot how that felt. And it was all due to that drill sergeant. So a lot of, you're seeing me in the class and I'm pushing you, that guy is still there. He's still, echoing in my words. And of course, I hear a lot, of course, Kevin Samuels, right there. My own father as well. These guys are always pushing me to do more with the class and believe more in the class. And when I get a different way of delivering, and I'm like, okay, I know the methodology to teach this as someone who doesn't know anything. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's spend the time and make sure you can do it. And you guys see me in the class. Like I'm methodical sometimes. I'm like, show me the evidence. Show me your screen. Like, show me. I wanted to see that you're actually doing this. I don't believe that you're doing it. That if I'm really pushing you in that way, it's because what we're doing is valuable, and I know you can get $135,000 to $150,000 doing it. So I can't let you drop. So I have to go after you in the class. You see me being what seems to be kind of pesky and cruel. That's because I want you to get the bag. I want you to get money. And I know it just takes a little bit more pushing to get you there. So that's what I'm doing. Do it. And you see what the results are. Yeah, Stoic. He's in Colombia, right? I know his process. He's still more talented than what he's doing right now. I know what his real capability is. He could do a lot more. I know. So there's a lot in the class that's going on.
Contractor.
Yo. Hey, Machismo, take over real quick. I gotta hit the head.
All right, I got you.
Let's call it what it is.
So let's call it what it is. No, that was a good round robin. Actually, since this is good, I'm glad we got Theo and Nomad on here. Naaman had brought up earlier. Excellent. Thank you, Contractor. I was going to do this. Irvin Reed with the $5 super chat and a question to the panel. He said, I know how hard-headed our peers can be. However, what's the testimony of y'all's observation of the young bloods entering this space? And he's speaking in terms of the cybersecurity and transitioning through the class. And actually, that's a good one for Theo and Nomad, because Nomad was in the first, the inaugural class. What say you to Irvin Reed's question?
Okay, so many of them disregard the importance of what I'm teaching, and they tend to be stubborn. And it takes a group effort in order to make them unstubborn. They have to see from other places that the work is there, what we're doing in class is actually relevant. Some of the times I've been looking at them and I'm like I make $600,000 a year. I didn't, when I copied people, they weren't making $600,000 a year. They're making like 150 or 200,000. I copied those guys. I didn't question anything. And then I make 600,000 and I'm black and you're questioning me. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Right. But there's, I would say, just you have that lack of wanting to deal with reality, and then of course the lack of reading. Those two give me a great deal of difficulty, and it limits the degree to which I can push the students.
Nomad. No, the same question, because you're actually employed in this industry. That was actually when I was initially talking to you. Like, yeah, I'm already hired in doing this. So yeah, Irvin's question: what's your observations of the young bloods entering the space period, especially since you're coming out of Theo's class and you're actually in the workforce?
Kind of just gonna echo some of what Theo said. One of the big things to see, especially with like a lot of younger guys, is that they want to kind of do things their own way, even though there's already like a game plan laid out. And that can be like a bit troublesome at times, just because like you're trying to give them the guidance they need, but they kind of don't trust what you're doing. And a lot of times they just try to think, okay, well, I think I can find a better way, which ends up with them kind of missing the fine details that they need in order to be great at what they do. And a lot of them kind of don't come in with like the humbleness, right? They think, okay, well, I know this, you know this, so we're on the same level. And it's kind of like something one of my mentors told me in the past. He said, if a millionaire's talking to me, excuse my French, but I shut the fuck up and listen. So that's like the only problem I kind of have with some of the younger guys. Like a lot of them are actually very talented, very intelligent, but they just don't listen. And I can't really be mad because most of them haven't had that male guidance, so they don't know how to interact with other males because they're so separated, right? And that goes back to what I was saying before about trying to do everything on your own and not having that wolf pack. A wolf pack is also important because you have to know how to interact with other men, especially as you're trying to like rise up through the ranks. You need your wolf pack. You need to deal with other men. And if other men know that you're kind of not really used to dealing with other men, you're not going to rise that far because they're not going to want to deal with you. So that's just the thing, is just trying to get them to understand the importance of what you're learning and to just trust the process.
All right, so in Naaman, actually, you're in Theo's class, but you're actually a working professional. Actually, the people would know, but very high level. We can't say what it is you do, but you see new people coming in and out, and you've been in several departments where you're at. That same line of questioning. What do you see? The observation for the young bloods entering this space, cybersecurity in general. Matter of fact, you got a younger homie, our guy Rich, but he's actually incredibly competent. But just along those lines.
In my observation, what I would say, a lot of a lot of younger guys suffer with is the fact that, like what Stoic was saying, that they don't know how to work in a hierarchy and with other men. And some of that could be also because people watch a lot of different content. And what tends to happen from watching too much different content, if you're not disciplined from watching too much content, is to understand that you have a syllabus to follow and you have to stick to the curriculum that has been put there. So there's nothing wrong with going and looking at other things that are maybe not part of the curriculum, but sticking to the plan is very important. And reading or doing those things should be something that you're doing out of as an interest, like a hobby, but you need to stick to the plan and go forward with that. Just like when you're in school and you are being tested on a particular subject, the teacher is still testing you on the material that he asked you or he has requested you to like study on. If you do look at other material to study, nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to broaden your information, but you have to stick to it. I think a lot of young people struggle with I don't know, maybe ADHD or something, that they just do too much and then they're like, oh, why not I do that, or why not, like, somebody was doing this but this, and then it just kind of puts them into a position where they feel lost or they get lost, and sometimes out of embarrassment they don't want to admit that they are wrong, so they just start lashing out or start acting out, and that just leads to just not things going the right way. Because first of all, if you are a young blood, people who are senior than you, they will check you. They'd be like they'd be like, hey, watch that tone, or watch how you're talking. So, and that's when things get heated and people start to have personal problems. But
Mhm.
if you would have just stayed on the path from the beginning, you should have been okay. And that's why in Theo's class, there are times Theo says, just follow the instructions. Just do what I'm telling you to do. And I think part of that is also just like helping people understand, like, look, don't get ahead of yourself. Just follow this. And that's why you're in the class, and it's kind of help you to be disciplined. That's my take on it.
Let me comment on that real quick. In the class, if I say, like, these are the steps, just do them. It's to protect the students. And this is because either I have failed horribly in the office by doing an alternative, or I prepared for the class and the documentation and the books and the Udemy's were all crap. And I had to figure out the method to actually do it. And I don't want a deviation because you're just going to go off a cliff. And I know it. That's what happened to me. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to get this done in 30 minutes, but it took me 7 hours. So I'm going to deliver this to you, and I'm going to make life easy for you. Don't go someplace else, because I don't want to retrieve your body from the cliff. That's what's going to happen. I know that's what happened. So I'm kind of like Doctor Strange there. I'm like the time stone. I've gone back and forth in time. I know what's going to happen, and I'm like, please don't do this. I'm trying to protect you.
No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Because I'm a trade guy, and in the trade, I taught many people, and I tell you, do it like this, and don't deviate. Like, if we had a junction box that needs 21 pipes to go inside of it, they're all 1/4 inch. Like, you have to bend the pipes in a certain manner where everything fits. So before you get some grand goddamn idea, shut the fuck up and listen. just listen. Because once you fuck that first piece of pipe up, the rest of them are gonna be fucked up too. So yeah, been there, done that. Don't need your input. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Did you think about the gas line? You ran a piece of conduit right by a gas line. You know that's not gonna pass inspection. You're gonna kill everybody. Oh damn, I shouldn't have said it. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. So trust me, I get it. Even when it comes to tech, a lot of I agree with you, Theo, and you, Nomad. At the end of the day, a lot of what I experienced from learning the trade and teaching the trade, because I had to I had to get a good bit of shut the fuck upness about me as an apprentice, and just do what I was told and don't deviate. Because back then I didn't realize it. It's the reason why, as an electrician, we screw and bolt everything down when we're done, because it blows up. Your panel is pretty much a bomb waiting to go off if you fuck up. Cross a phase, you'll see. It'll blow up in your face. Hit that brake if you want to. That'll be the last thing you touch. And I didn't initially want to listen to the instruction that was being given to me because of the way I was raised, number one, and my ego. I didn't want to put my ego aside. And that's what happened with a lot of the guys that I ended up teaching. I'm like, I hear you, but we ain't got time for that bullshit. We got to get this done. And I'm gonna show you the most expedient way to get it done. And it wasn't just a so-called black person thing, or it was everybody. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, like Latino, whatever. They all had the same approach. It's really the way we're socialized. We've been socialized for me not to trust you and for you not to trust me. So when you're bringing information that's beneficial, I still don't quite trust you, brother. I don't. Because mama said in them. America said in them. And it sounds really messed up when you look at it like that, but no, that's really what it is. I was told I can't trust you, even though I'm trying to teach you and help you. Hard-headed, man. But in spite of that, you still find a way to push through and get it done. And well, Nomad is he's a shining example of that. And I had a similar experience because my like one of my former teachers, Dave Rogalski, was a absolute raging dickhead, but he knew his shit. He knew his shit. He could tell you how to run everything from a piece of pipe to a whole goddamn mall and get the job done. He trained me, and I felt that part right there where you were like, yeah, you had that drill instructor over you. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I get it. I get that. But having people like that to help learn you something is really important, because by the time it's all said and done, after you complete your training, you come out way tougher than the job ever will be. So I understand that method of teaching, because for some of us, that's what we need for real. That drill instructor mentality to hammer that shit into you. No, I said go left. You went right. Yeah, I know, but I think right. Shut up. Go left. Go left, and don't turn back, motherfucker. Well, yeah. Anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, I would like to add something. So just like what you were saying, I have had these conversations with Machismo while he was in Philly, and something what we started doing was that we used to go to a nearby Dominican spot, and we would just sit outside at these tables, and we would bring cigars, cognac, whiskey, something to drink with, and invite some of the people that we would like to network with. And in that sitting, We would talk about different ideas, we would talk about different things, and that is how you start to bounce ideas with each other, but also start to develop a network. And that's where you're like, oh, I struggle in this area, but hey, guess what, this person knows how to help you with that area. And people start, giving you resources and ways of like how to resolve these things. But part of the problem sometimes we run into, as what I've seen living in America, is that everybody's like very isolated. Nobody talks to nobody. Even at work, everybody's just in their cube. Everybody just minds their business. Nobody says nothing to nobody. But one thing that I learned while I was starting my career, and I was listening to Kevin, and Kevin said something that I drilled into my head, and I started working on that part because I was not good at it, and that was networking. I sucked at socializing. I was like, my social skills were not good. I didn't knew how to talk to people, as in like just approaching them and just like like break the ice and have a conversation. And that is so important. Even with your career, you could be the most skilled person, the most competent person, but if you want to grow in your life, in your career, you have to be good dealing with other people. And like what Contractor was saying, it's so important to be able to like start like just building a habit on like talking to people, and building your network. Because if um, it will take you so far in life, like you'll be surprised if this one skill you can get it right, like how much your life will change. And it will also teach you how to be around other people, how to be around other men, and it will elevate you in life. So I would definitely say, just like this room of people where we are all gathered here, just start doing that in your life as well. Start taking out time in a day to call a couple of your friends, like set aside like half an hour to an hour, and just call people and be like, hey, what's up, how are you doing, how's everything, how's life, do you need anything, is everything okay? And from there, start moving it to like, once a week, just meet up with your friends or something like that. And I think a lot of people in America, for validation, I guess they seek women to validate them. But what you really need is other people in your life, which are your brothers or a brotherhood, so they can sharpen you and keep you focused on like things you need to do. Because women are just cherry on the cake. You need to work on the cake first. So that's my take.
No, I think you're absolutely correct. A lot of guys, they look for women to validate them, not realizing that just get some money. That bitch gonna validate you anyway. That's it. It's as simple. It's simplistic. Get some money. Get some money, and watch them all bow down. But that's a whole nother story. You know, um, having your network around you. What's that old saying? Your network is your net worth. People don't realize how real that really is, man. Like everybody on the panel, y'all are part of my network, and I go off the Dame Dash mentality. If I ever go broke, I just need 10 of my homies to give me 100,000 piece, and boom, I'm back on. If I'm a millionaire and all my homies are millionaires, now I'm a millionaire. Now I'm a millionaire again. But I would also do the same for them. Like it's us. We're the one. We're the ones that move the needle. We're the ones that change things. So looking for I'm gonna just be real. Looking for a bitch to validate you with some very, 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 very bitch ass thinking. You shouldn't be looking for a woman to validate you. No, no, no. How do you stand
Yeah, I agree.
amongst other men? Where do you stand? And if they're not the ones, if you don't have anyone holding you accountable, then bro, you kind of fucked up. You just out there by yourself. So at the end of the day, having that network, it helps keep everything balanced. Straight up.
Yeah.
Where you don't have a bunch of distractions. And also having that network, that wolf pack, a bitch can't throw you off either. And that's going to be the mistake that a lot of brothers make, because once let's say for example they do take the OS course and they do um, get a job like the brother, and they get out here and they start making money and they get down to Colombia, well then they become the biggest trick in the world, instead of approaching everything from a balanced perspective, like he's obviously doing. So it's important to have to be around your brothers. That way they can help keep you balanced. Because once you do get the money, now what you're gonna do with it?
And
Blow your whole
I want
wad?
to, contractor, I want to add something to that, and this is also very important. Sometimes I've personally met people who have a lot of money, but um, there are many areas in their life, even though they have the money, they don't feel content or they're happy with themselves. And part of that is what I have observed comes from the fact that they do not have respect of other men in their lives. If you
Facts.
even if you look at women, let's say for example, if you are a person where a lot of other men respect you, a woman will naturally respect you because she sees that all these other guys respect you. When you don't have that, like you will see that you will seek validation from a woman to validate you. But when you have respect of other men because of who you are, what you have accomplished, and the purpose that you serve in other people's lives, you become someone who um, is not just living for themselves. You have a bigger purpose in life where you are serving a bigger purpose. And I think when women see that, they see that other people kind of put you up on the pedestal because of the respect you have. And when she sees that you are a person bigger than what she looks you at as, that's where she begins to respect you, and that's where the love comes in.
Well, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Like, just point of personal privilege. Way back when me and my now current wife started dating, I took her out. I took her around town. I took her to a lot of the spots that I would normally frequent, and everybody in there called me by my first name. Here's the reason why: I know the owners, so I have owners and other businessmen interacting with me on some personal shit. Her eyes got wide every time. We could stop past the little pizza spot right there by on U Street, or we can go to the other Italian place down the road in Virginia. They know me, and because they knew me, they were like, well, excuse me. She was like, "What the hell?" So she's seeing these owners come out and shake my hand. That's because we did business together before. Her eyes would get wide and her jaw would drop. Oh, route me over here that way we can go get I can go get my deposit for this job that I'm about to do. And Tony, let's just use that name, Tony, that's been slinging meatball subs all day. Hey, will come out, shake my hand, and be like, "How you doing? What's going on?" She saw that respect. So you're absolutely correct. She saw that shit, and I guess that helped deepen her own respect for me. My stepson saw that shit too, and he was like, "You know everybody." I said, "Yeah, yeah, but I'm a man about town, you know." So getting that validation from the other men does play a role. It plays a big role in how she will react to you when she knows, okay, well, this guy's important over here. He can garner respect from the other men, and shit. I guess I'm with somebody. Yes, 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 you are. So yeah, Naaman, you right. You right. I've lived that. That's been a lived experience in my life, bro.
In general, when women see you, they always see you as a stakeholder, but what you got to show them is how big of a shareholder you are. And once they see that, that is when things change. That's why you don't say I'm a shareholder, you let them see that you're the shareholder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. But Cheeseman,
Well,
Mitzi's, where'd you find this guy?
Cigar Lounge. Yeah. What you call it? I figured that. Well, we figured that out early with the cigar lounges. It's like a natural filtering system. You know what I'm saying? It filters the quiches, all of the nonsense, and it filters like a lot of non-productive men generally.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is a filtering system, and especially the more upscale the cigar lounge that you start to attend, and then, like I said, like the conversations about different cigars and scotches, you just it cigars are for everyone, but you know how the cigar culture is. Like, yeah, you definitely run into a different type of man, and then, like I said, it crosses all ethnic and social boundaries as well. It's like you can like not have a lot of money, but you know a lot about cigars, and that just in and of itself in the conversation in the cigar lounge, suddenly like you're the man, like you're the brokest guy there. Like everybody else actually really has the money. You know, it could buy like the expensive cigars at the humidor, but just because you know cigars and you can have the conversation, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, get him one of these too. Scotch, get him a Macallan. But pour 3 Macallans. You gotta come over and listen to this guy. So there's a lot of that going on. You know what I mean? It's a weird social evening playing ground based on, you know, knowledge of cigars or just like the whole social circle, like even talking about like nice smoking jackets and stuff. And so, and then ironically, when I found a lot in this, I forget what day it was. I think it was me, Ian. That's my cousin Ian, and I think it was name, and it might even been Malik. And like it was the cigar lounge was packed. This is when we were taking in like all this content, and I was all the travel content, and it was all like these black guys, like a lot of black guys. And then like I was eavesdropping on everybody's table, like every dude was talking about, oh, I just came from Colombia. I was just in so and so. I was just in so, and I was bumping naming like, yo, like everybody's on planes. And it was the crazy thing, it was either a Friday night or a Saturday night. And we're in Center City, Philadelphia. And there are like clubs and like night lounges like everywhere, like nice joints. And like, bro, it was all the dudes were in the cigar lounges. You feel me?
Yeah, no bullshit, no bullshit. Irvin Reed said Pop goes the motherfucking weasel. If you know, you know.
You know.
At the end of the day,
Rich is a fool. You see what he said? Rich is a fool. Look at his super chat.
I'm coming
This
to
is
Colombia.
he said I'm coming to Colombia to smoke acid cigars and drink Paul Masson. If you know, you know. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. He said to smoke acid cigars and Paul Masson. But I ain't even gonna hold you. The what is it? The bottom Betty or something, acid cigar. That's actually not bad. It's a shitty cigar, but it tastes good. He said drink acid cigars and Paul Masson. That's hilarious, bro.
No, I ain't gonna lie. The acid cigars are good. The Jewelry Estates are good. The Mocha Latte, I can't think of it. It's like it tastes like espresso with chocolate. This the best shit. It tastes really good.
No, he hit it
Especially,
right on the
especially
head. He said $1,000 plane ticket for an $18 experience.
When I saw that super chat, I was like, count me out.
No, he's making fun. Yeah, I asked a cigar and Paul Masson. That's sacrilege. He came
So,
in kicking his feet on the cigar lounge conversation. That shit is hilarious.
by the way, I have a very special bottle for Theo because last time we were at the conclave, I saw how happy Theo was with his henny. So I have something very special for you, Theo, this conclave.
Thank you. I always appreciate that. I always tell people again I was homeless, so if I get anything, I don't expect anything, so if I get it, I'm always humble about it. So I just want to thank you folks. Yeah.
Yo,
I do like them. Believe me, the bottle of Henny I got at the last conclave, I still haven't opened it up. I just look at it.
So I just look at it.
Yeah, it's more valuable.
Yeah.
It's more valuable to me that a student's life changed and he gave that to me than it actually is to consume it. So I just look at it and say, like, this, there was meaning here. This was something, and keep on working. Go harder, Theo. That's how I think about it.
No, I dig it. Theo be collecting trophies, bro.
Well, Theo,
Yeah,
I'll
I
give
see
you.
photos from that joint. You was like, you was drowned in swag. People was giving you shit left and right. Then you get a big gold chain too.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it. I was like, wow, I wasn't even expecting this, right? Again, I'm always humble about it. I'm not expecting it. When I go to the conclave, I'm thinking about like how I'm gonna be changing your life, like kind of like meeting Stoic for the first time, and I'm thinking like, okay, like, so what do I need to do? What kind of plan do I need? How do I address the student? How do I interact? Right? I'm in teacher mode. And then somebody says, "Oh yeah, you changed my life. Here you go." I'm like, "Whoa!" It's like a side swipe. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. So, okay, wow, thank you.
that right there is a good problem to have right there, Theo. You changing lives, and in the process, you're like, oh, surprise, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Bottle Henny, thank you. Homicide, thank you.
yeah. I will take this. This is very nice. Thank you. Okay. And then I look at it, and I just, one of my students, I think he was from Haiti. I'm pretty sure he's from Haiti. He came over for Conclave 3, and he gave me a bag of coffee, and it was unique from where he was at. I think it's from Jamaica. And I helped him get 2 jobs. What?
That blue, you got the Blue Mountain coffee. The Blue Mountain.
Yeah, the Blue Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I haven't drinking it all. I had like 1 cup of it. That's it. And I just sit and look at it. And I'm just like, wow, how did this happen? And that's it. That's all that matters to me. I probably will never consume the entire bag just because I think about where that student was and where he's come from and where we've done in the class, and to get anything like that, so surprised and I'm honored to get something. So I just keep it.
Oh, when you help change people's lives, you'd be surprised how they show the gratitude, and for them not to be total assholes and just run off with the money and thank you, Theo, pew, gone, and to bring something back like, here you go. Because at the end of the day, like, you didn't have to do what you did for them, and they know that. But you did it, and after you did it, they were like, shit, something from the bottom of my heart. Be it that coffee, be it that chain, or be it that bottle of Hennessy. I see what she was talking about. Yeah, it's a bit of a trophy, but
yeah,
holding on to it, it reminds you of that experience and reminds you to it keeps you honest,
Yeah, I don't want it to go to my head. I don't want to be like, I'm the man or something like that. I don't want that. So then I remember, like said, Theo, you had cancer, you were homeless. Remember that. Like, this person came from a low level and so did you. And then I'm usually thinking like, okay, the next person who needs help, who is the next person? And then I'm thinking to some degree like, can I integrate this person to go help the next person out? Because we can use this to, pivot off of that person's success to get somebody who has no hope a few steps further down the road, right? So I'm kind of that's my thought about it, and I don't stop and actually really enjoy it for the moment. And then I'll later on, when I get back home, when I'm actually like by myself, that's when I start kind of thinking about what happened. And that a lot of that happens because when I got in Japan, when I got my first big contracts, I started going around and talking about how great I was, and I let it get to my head, and that thinking, in the end, destroyed in 3 years, and I never forgot that, and I was like, I had to get rid of it from myself, and I was like, it's by far better to always be grinding with people and helping them achieve the next goal. That's where the real work of life happens. And saying that you're the man or you're this or that, that's narcissism. And that's when you stop progressing. That's when you stop growing. So don't do that. And I learned my lesson. So I think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah. You considering everything you've been through, to still be working and helping, like for real. Theo, we all. I'll be the first to tell you, Theo can sit down, dog. He can, if he wants to, he can sit down. Like he's at that point, but he's still out here. I heard enough now. I've seen enough now. Theo can sit down. 600,000. Theo can sit smooth the fuck down and pay an assistant 100,000 a year to do his job for him if he really chose to. But he don't. He keeps on going. So you're much appreciated, brother. You're much appreciated. We're at 2 hours and 9 minutes. Looking to shut down sometime soon. Let's see. It's about to be 1 o'clock in the morning. It's 12:54 a.m. Eastern Standard. Does anybody have anything they would like to add?
Well, I have something to add, man. And y'all are right, including Contractor, that meeting people is very important, and especially people at higher places. And to this day, I still get calls from people from this developer, HRI Properties, to do some work for them, and I get paid for that. Even though I don't make 100,000 a year, but they still call me to do something for them or whatever like that, because I have the experience. And you're right, it's all about meeting people. And I introduce myself, and a lot of people's like, oh, you know so many people. Yeah, you got to have those connections, man. You can't just be this fort in the middle of the ocean and no one surround you. You don't got nothing surrounding you. You gotta like sometimes tear down that wall to basically, so you can basically know people, whatever like that. You don't need to always like enclose yourself all the time. And I learned that a long time ago, and that's how you get to become very successful, wealthy, a lot, and amongst other things. And we also say something about discipline, that people got to work on, for us, like Nas said in one of his albums, out of your simple trip or trick, or you're in love with your own, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Rich Turner. And he said in one of his albums, that made me think, once you said that a lot of guys like just being the biggest trick, you're absolutely right. And if we get off that and focus, and instead of seeking validation from others, seek validation from each other, like for us men, then we can become who we can become. Now, as far as trying to seek validation from women, that's going to be the biggest mistake you can ever make.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll land my plane from there, man.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you. Uh, let's see.
While we are on this long pause, is it okay if I can add something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so since we did brought up something about building your network and go out there and meeting people, I understand a lot of times because I personally struggle with it, and I have met a lot of people where I can see the problem, but I know people don't want to open up about it, and I generally just kind of lead them towards the well and let them pull the bucket to drink the water and not give them the water necessarily. So I just want to say this, that sometimes in life, I think us men, we want to not open up, or basically we don't want our ego bruised, where we think that I don't know if I'm worth something, or if I can add value to the other person's life, or what I have to offer. And I think usually when we think about things like that, all we have to think of is that the other person is a human being and I'm a human being. And I have to believe in my skill set and competence to give something that I know I can. And if for whatever reason you think you cannot, maybe just that conversation is in your head is going to help you realize some of the competence where you're lacking, and you'd be like, you know what, I need to get better at this. I was thinking now I would be able to do something for this person, but I cannot do that. Guess what, I need to work towards this area and get better at it. And that is how in general you will become a better person. So never be afraid, to be thinking like, hey, I don't know what I can do, like, for others. No, you can always do something for others. You just have to reach out, because in order to shake hands, you still have to reach out your hand to shake the hand. You cannot have your hands in your pocket and expect other people to reach out their hand.
Well, you know what, Naaman? You're absolutely correct. I told y'all last week, dude, I make six figures. I'm right when I signed a contract for with a big ass corporation. The head gasket of my truck blew, and it left me stranded. And I had money stretched out far and wide between jobs and different projects. Saul had to save me. I had to tamp down my motherfucking ego and be like, "Yo, help." What you don't want to be? Most people don't want to be embarrassed. Myself personally, I have. I don't get embarrassed easily, but a part of me still was like, I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to ask for help. But bro had to actually help me out, dog. So having your ego bruised for a lot of us is a big part of it. And it's bigger than your goddamn ego. It's way bigger than your motherfucking punk ass, petty ass ego. Take the direction, take the help that the brothers are offering, and you'll find yourself in a better position. Now, I could be an arrogant motherfucker. I know that. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Because you can't tell me I don't shit Haagen-Dazs over this bitch. But it is what it is. That's just how I am. But I still had to tamp that shit down though. And like, bro, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Fast forward, now I'm riding in a a Land Rover. Yep. Oh, because my brother helped me out of that jam. So fuck your ego. Listen to the information that's being disseminated. But I gotta take another point of personal privilege and say, my big brother Wrench motherfucking Turner just entered the building. Good sir, what say you? Wrench. Some
My apologies. My apologies. I'm over on this Paul. No, I'm playing. Man, salute to all of y'all brothers, man. I'm enjoying the conversation, bro. I unfortunately I'm normally asleep around this time, shit, because been burning the midnight oil and working from dark to dark, but loving the conversation, man, and loving the especially when it comes to networking and uh, it's good to see brothers up here talking about that because Lord knows over the years I've had the opportunity to try and network with a lot of brothers, man, and some of us, man, you got to drag them kicking and screaming until they actually see what's in it for me part of the whole endeavor is. So it's always good to see brothers having these conversations, and I hope that the brothers that are listening are really taking and soaking up some of this game, bro. Because a lot of times, we either knee deep in our work, or we're in spaces that a lot of brothers aren't in. So I'm thankful for panels like these and the brothers that are on it that are kicking knowledge, bro.
Yeah, no, true indeed, true indeed, true indeed. You've been a big contributor to the space for a long time, sir, a long time. And without brothers like you, the space wouldn't be what it is. Without brothers like this like the ones on the panel, this space wouldn't be what it is. Like, this the only place where you can come down here and find life coaching advice, find career advice, find all information you need to help turn your life around,
Right.
and or start a brand new career path and change your life, man.
Right.
Somebody like Theo then turns out a candidate like Nomad, and now Quiet Storm, and also soon to be Naaman, and soon to be Machismo, and that means something. That means something. Like this thing here, this thing here we got. This shit go deep, bro. It go deep. This will change this whole conversation will change someone's life in the near future. I can tell. You're gonna have people far and wide, Theo, coming. they coming. So Nomad, get ready, because you're gonna have to help carry that load. You gonna have to help carry that load, cause to assist someone else in their journey. So I'm just appreciative that we can have this conversation, because at the end of the day, they said men of everyone on the panel's caliber didn't exist.
Right.
I said that last week. They said,
right.
You don't exist. Y'all don't make no money. Word.
Right.
Word.
Man, check it out. Machismo TV. He's on my LinkedIn, man. So you get a chance to see the comings and the goings. And here recently when I updated my took a senior position with a pretty big company, big ass European based company, but you get a chance to see. And I know, we talk behind the scenes and stuff like that with a couple of you brothers, but yeah, man, they swore up and down that we didn't exist, and we were just on the internet talking shit. All of us are broke and dusty, and we don't have homes and all that kind of shit. But it's always been funny to me, and I've actually looked at it as like a privilege, man, to be hiding in plain sight, because most of the ones that are having those conversations are the ones that are talking shit like that, man. They're not even on our radar like that anyway. So I've always looked at it as like, yes, bitch, we don't exist. Shit, and we are a figment of the internet's imagination. We don't exist, and we dusty, and we're in the projects. That's it. Shit, because in actuality, I'm gonna tell you this too, and I've learned this over the years, bro. Whenever you come across those type of females, they don't even know how to interact with a brother that actually, is making some nice coin. They don't know how to carry themselves in a fine restaurant. They don't know what to say or the right disposition to even get you to halfway want to deal with them for a second date. You know what I mean? So I laugh when I hear them conversations when they talk about a rich man, or they talk about, you need to do this to get him. I'm like, bitch, y'all, they can't even keep up in conversation if I'm being honest.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
They
can't even keep up.
They be intimidated, and they purposely just sabotage it, throw a fit, and all this other shit because they be intimidated. Even at the restaurant, you be seeing them breaking down, looking at the fucking silverware, like, really, bitch?
Yeah, I've even had them tell me in the past, like, you know, I'm intimidated or I don't feel comfortable because I feel like, you know, I feel like if I say the wrong thing or if I do the wrong thing, you know, you're just gonna drop me. I've heard that a myriad of times. You're just gonna drop me and move right on because you really don't need me. I'm like, yeah, bitch. That's kind of how it's supposed to be, right? Since you want to play in the big leagues, you know, since you want to play in the big leagues and shit. Yeah, you can't come over here and talk about Real Housewives. You can't come over here and talk about none of these video or none of these social media these influencers because we don't unless they huge, we don't know them, bro. We don't that's not our get down. We're in these spaces and we working. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
No,
yeah, man, shout out to y'all though, man. Shout out to y'all brothers, man.
hey, I tell you what, it's gotten so bad that whole attitude that even exists with Karen. I went to
Mm-hmm.
do a service call today, right? You got one mayonnaise Mary, one Caucasian, and
Yeah.
her high yellow mixed daughter from
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana down here, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Mama was very standoffish. I'm strong and I can do it by myself. And I know this and I know that. And I can do this and I can do that. By the time I left that motherfucker, Mama and her grown ass daughter was both looking like, you want some pussy?
Mm-hmm.
You want some pussy?
Mm-hmm.
You was a whole man out this motherfucker. And you can help us. I said, nah, I'll take that $200 though. And I went on
Yeah.
about my business, bro.
Yeah.
I'll come back over here when it's time to install this bullshit. That'll be $600, $700, $800. I'll have help, whatever. And I got the fuck out of there. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't really understand men, productive men. Now, if I was a degenerate, then yeah,
Yeah.
they know that part all day,
Yeah.
all goddamn day. But as we talked about this broken dishwasher and this broken wash machine that they got in their house, because apparently they just bought the motherfucker, had it inspected, and the whole motherfucker's falling apart. Karen and her mulatto daughter or octoroon daughter don't seem to really understand that you bought something that's fucked up. And as I explained it to them, they were like, oh, well, we had an idea. Bitch, your lights don't even cut on when you hit a switch. An idea? No. Everything in here is trash. This house is garbage. How much you pay for it? $340. That's amazing. You're dumb. Like they didn't get it. They didn't get it, bro.
That boy
And
said
they were looking at me
octoroon.
like, "Can you fix it?" Well, if you fix it, you know we might just do something strange. No. I gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
you ain't finna me too, me, bitch. I got a quick question for the brothers. 'Cause I think this is important. Um, can you guys touch on how you've been able to monetize charisma, right? And for me, I got a big sense of humor, bro. So I tie that into my work in a way where I'm able to get present information and get it to stick. Like I was in a meeting at 8 o'clock tonight, and it just so happened one of my homeboys is works for me, and he was explaining a situation where one of his areas of responsibility was struggling, and our job just so happened to be right up the road from a big church. And so I was telling him, I was like, you know, as he was going through his spiel, I was like, hey man, you know, good job on everything else, but I just wanted to let you know that probably a quarter mile up the street, you know, if you can't figure it out and you get scared and you want to go to church, you know, there's one right up the road about a quarter mile. So if you decide to go up go up there and go to the service, just let me know and I'll come in and feel for you. And the whole group started laughing. But in my case, that's kind of how I use charisma to get through to the folks. But I'm interested to hear, and the brothers need to hear too, because a lot of times we hear the message of, you know, lock in and grind, and brothers don't understand, man. All of those innate gifts that we have, you can use that to. There's actually a dollar amount tied to it. So I'm interested to hear the brothers touch on that.
All right. Nah, I'll go on that one. That's actually spot on. And nah, you right on that, Wrench. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you. I just went on mute because I got
No,
this
no,
mic.
no, no. Just double checking because I've been falling back on this joint. No, but you spot on with that one. Skills and all that aside, and Naaman was mentioning it earlier about how him listening to Kevin, he realized he had to develop his social skills and what have you. And if you meet Naaman in person, he's you would never know he was just had some degree of social awkwardness because he comes off like a natural born diplomat. But I mean, to my own credit, like I've been in corporate for years, and banking and even before that. But like I was always, you know, and then like I was back office, but I always been like a technically like a superstar, like the golden child. But I learned how to like be who my actual self, my actual personality, like how I am in the street and stuff like that. But
Right,
just filter it through like the corporate sieve. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So like
right,
I'm really myself in these meetings. Like I'm an asshole, but I'm funny. Do you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like dark sense of humor. I'm really, really, really good at my job. Like,
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, I'm good at everybody else's job. Like, I manage to make myself indispensable, but at the same time, you know, how people be like, you know, you be in corporate and you got to be like, you know, like, no, you don't. You actually
yeah,
get the respect from that. Like, they actually respect the guy that's like you're that like you're personable and all that and other stuff, but like people know not to fuck with you. But you're
right,
not like, but you know what I'm saying? Like you develop that skill out over a while. But then like I'm personable. Like I don't really be extra like I could work at job for years and know everything about everybody, and people feel like they my best friend, but they actually know nothing about me, my personal
yeah,
life, nothing. But they don't realize that till like you're at the happy hour. You're like, you know what? I know all these. You know, I realize I know absolutely nothing about you, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But
I got you.
speaking to charisma and monetizing it, like look at Machismo TV. That's a perfect example of it. I'm not on
Right,
camera.
right.
I'm not on camera. I'm 6 seasons in.
Yeah,
The only people on this panel I've actually ever met in person are Naaman and Theo.
yeah,
Saul been with me from day one. We have never met in person.
yeah,
Shit, I ain't never met you in person, Rich. Storm that
yeah,
met Naaman before he met me. I won't meet Storm until the conclave.
yeah.
Contractor. Like this whole
I'm gonna meet
channel,
all y'all last at the conclave. Know that
yeah,
at the
this
next
whole
one.
channel is run around a whole bunch of dudes from all over the country. Matter of fact, even the globe, because Hot Sauce is part of the original Voltron pilots, and he's in Shanghai.
Yeah,
And we've been doing this heavy from like 100 subscribers, bro. And like this is just all off skill and personality and the ability to work with other men. And on top of that, I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Like everybody, like the people, everybody here is either an alpha or a sigma. There are no beta males like in the manosphere proper or black man. You know what I'm saying? Like the purple pill channels, all that shit don't really fucking count. Like
mm,
because they get run out anyway. They get ran out of the chats. They get ran off to the panels. Do you know what I'm saying? So like
right.
everybody that's left are either alphas or sigmas, and then like just the mere fact that all of us can get along over long periods of time, build something, and haven't trying to taking each other's heads off is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it's
that's
easier for brothers. It's so much easier for brothers to build with when Keisha is not around, bro.
fact though.
It's
Correct.
so much
Yes.
easier, man. I've
Yeah.
noticed that, of course, with like content and stuff like that. But even in the real world, man, you take bitches out of the mix, man, and it's a whole lot easier to get dudes on the same page, and everybody kind of aligns into their natural order, you know. Um, and it happens quick. You know what I mean? After a couple of hours of having conversations, man, everybody kind of know where they stand. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Theo, talk about the charisma, man. You know, we know you. We know that you've been around the world and back a few times, man, and have done well for yourself, bro. I can see your charisma. You one of them people that if we worked in the same environment, man, I would be trying to get you to break character in a professional way, but I'll be trying to get you to break character because I can tell you about your business. But talk about charisma, man. I can see it, but explain to some of the brothers who may hear this later on how that has helped you accomplish what it is that you've accomplished.
I'd say for myself, it's about bringing a down to earth personality, and
Right.
then making someone laugh a little bit, but then having a strong deliverable.
For sure.
And this is something that I learned in Japan that I had to have.
Nice.
And it's effective. I look at it as a survival technique. And the more you can communicate then, and you can open up those doors of communication, not only the wider will your network be, but your living situation, your cash flow, your security will be strengthened in all areas. So that's the way I use it.
Yeah.
I just try to be personal about it. Again, I always remember the homelessness. One thing I always told myself to be when I was homeless is that being direct and personable with people is free.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can just turn it on. So there's no reason to not have that. I've done that ever since. That's mine. I never really think about myself as being like that guy or anything like that. I'm more like, I can help you get through a horrible situation. I know the path through.
Yeah.
So I'll help you get through it.
Yeah, and even that competency, man, and you kind of touched on it earlier, even that competency of knowing exactly what the hell you're talking about and knowing how to navigate certain situations, man, that's charisma in and of itself. I remember Kevin used to say, competency breeds confidence. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the fact that you've accomplished a lot, all of the brothers on the panel, the fact that you guys have accomplished a lot, I think that the labor of being able to master something, man, your personality comes out through it anyway in its own way. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. Brothers are here, going monk mode or being black pill or hunkering down. It's like, nah, bro, get out. And I'm not saying those things are wrong. I'm saying each person has to kind of find their own way, but it's so important to get out and have conversations and be personable and slip up in conversations and think like, oh shit, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. This is probably not the right setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely is. Just to be honest with you guys, I would monk mode 10 years.
Yeah.
And it was during that time period that I really focused on where I was gynocentric and systematically removed it from my life. Because I knew that gynocentric thinking was basically destroying me. And I had to process everything. Like, why do I do that? Like, where did that come from? Where's my game? How am I moving forward? And fighting with people who wanted me to be gynocentric, who wanted me to be blue pill, that was a long battle. I'm talking with friends. People who are close to me, they're all trying to get me to be gynocentric. And I'm looking at them like, no, this is not going to work. And I think in that process, I kind of found myself. I found who I was. And then I knew not to step back on that. The person who really gave me the voice in the end was Kevin.
Yeah.
Without him coming out there on the podcast and saying, for example, you men are being quiet. Actually say what you think. If he wasn't saying that, I probably wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have been as bold. But he was correct. Like, bring it out. And when that happened, look at who I am after that, right? And I don't have any problems with that. So then I turn around and say, look, I know that there are other monk moders, guys, who are watching silently. For their benefit, I'm going to be visible. And
Yeah.
I'm going to show myself like this is who I am, because I know they're struggling. I know how hard it was. It was hard. And I want them to see that they can be successful too. And I'm not like, another reason why I don't have a channel. I'm not
Yeah.
making from this, right? I'm not like making money hand over fist or anything like that. It's really nothing. And they have to understand it. Like, look, I'm just like you. But the difference is that I faced my demons and beat them. Though they did a good massacre on me, but I beat them in the end. And I changed and I got rid of everything I needed to remove from my life. And I became masculine. And you can do that too. So it is what it is. You got to do that change.
All right, give me. Let me interject real quick. Shout out to Urban Reed for the $5 super chat. He said, "I humbly disagree. The guys like Machismo and Naaman are going to be the ones. Theo will fade into black. Well, the stuff of legends." I agree. To a certain extent. You've done so much that, and you've had so many acolytes at this point that you can take a good little rest there, sir. You and Chewbacca can just go sit back and chill with your feet up. You know what I'm saying? Heal up and relax yourself. Cause with brothers like Quiet Storm, Naaman, and also damn it, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of his
Stoic Nomad.
Stoic Nomad. Yeah, because I want to say the name. You're good. They gonna keep it going, and once I jump in, let a motherfucker say something. I swear for God, let them say something. So yeah. We gonna make it easy for you.
That's the way I want it to be. I want to go to a conclave in the future, and everybody is excited about these other guys to go look at, and their successes and their stories and what they've done, and they've like written books, and they have their own courses. So all these students are looking at these other guys, and then I'm just kind of like walking through, just in the background. Like, okay, I'm back here.
Shit.
Let's be quiet.
I also forgot a brother like Rich Turner as well, because he's also in your class. I almost forgot. Yeah. We got you.
Hey,
You can
hey man,
kick back.
hey man. In my defense, I was in there, and then I took on this opportunity, man. So I was like, man, and with respect to the whole program, man, I want to sponsor another brother, kind of as my to show that I'm serious about it. And since I'm not in it right now, I at least want to open that opportunity up to another brother, who may wish that they could participate, but may not be able to financially. Man, I at least want to make sure that I open up that opportunity to somebody else who can make the most of it right now, since I'm playing this damn, and I'm kind of crazy that way, man. I'm playing this damn corporate game and climbing a ladder and shaking babies and kissing hands, as we say on the way up,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a guy who definitely needs the course. He doesn't have the cash, and
Gotcha.
it's not so much that he needs the IT work.
Yeah.
He needs the fundamental thinking that I bring to the class, because as you guys know, you guys have been in my class before. If you think in a certain way, I start going after you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that is not the way you live your life. That's not the way you do things. We don't do that here. It's not the way it is. And like, there's one guy in particular, his pursuit of Purnani has financially destroyed him.
Oh shit.
And I want him in the class for the one so I can mold him and start screaming at him and say, like, stop that, because it's nothing. Like, it's a zero. And the degree of, like, he is unable to do anything right now. He's unable to function because of what he's done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think he would be a good candidate for coming into the class and being molded and get his life change, get on the right path, particularly with the group of brothers around him. I think he'll be molded properly.
Gotcha. What I'll do is tomorrow I'll actually log into my Facebook account, man, and shoot you a message. If you just let me know where to send it to, if it's Cash App, Zelle, whatever the case may be, I'll get that squared away so he can at least get around some brothers that can, get him at least turned in the right direction and get his head screwed on tight. But I don't have no problem with that at all. No, I hadn't been on there probably in a month or two, man. So if anybody else send me messages on there, bro, my bad. I've been getting my ass killed just for the last month at this other job, but yeah, I got you, bro. I'll log in tomorrow and blast your message, and you just let me know what you need me to do, and we'll get them squared away.
All right, thanks. I think he'll enjoy it. I can start him in March.
Good deal.
And there you have it. Once again, the brothers coming together to make things happen for each other. More, it's hard to describe. I don't like the word feeling, but I have to use it. But the feeling of watching us work together and help each other is amazing, man. Like, I was taught a long time ago, years ago, that people who look like me, males especially, you're my adversary. I have to do battle with you. And instead, nah, we all building each other up. And Wrench just offered to help another brother come up. This is what this space does. And everyone has been down here. We're learning. We're learning from each other. And the shit is fucking amazing. It amazes me every goddamn time I log on. I click that button and I jump in. Bro, like, you can't, what did Kevin say? You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
The brotherhood down here is real, man. And brothers are really moving forward and looking out for each other. But I gotta do this because I know myself and I know y'all. Let's save some for next week and we can reconvene, rejoin. Then let's start getting ready to shut it down. Closing statements for all the brothers. And after that, we'll wrap it all up. Well, whoever wants to go first.
All right, I'll do mine, get mine out the way, so y'all can wrap it up. I'm gonna off the top say, shout out to Contractor, because this check-in call is really the pretty much his idea. Started off just my phone calls, checking in with him, like my main people, Saul, Contractor, like Quiet Storm, letting them know I was cool, and I would call Contractor, and then, like, we'd end up on the phone for 2 hours, and I was like, you know what? We should probably just stream these phone calls, because it was really like a up there, like, hey, what's going on type thing. So shout out to Contractor for this. And then what is this? This is our fourth call, and like, you done already assembled Voltron 2.0 up in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You got Theo, Wrench, Storm all up in here. Nomad that popped up, naming is about to become a regular. So shout out to you, Contractor, and you're doing a very good job facilitating this conversation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I learned from one of the best. My big bro. His name is Machismo. Straight the fuck up.
I'll go next. That way I can go ahead and as the old folks say, I can carry my ass to bed. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Man, as always, man, appreciate whenever I get a chance to have a conversation with you brothers, man. I always gain something from it. Following up on what the brother Irvin Reed was talking about, knowing the difference between a phase and a lifestyle. It should never be a lifestyle to suffer in silence, right? And when I say phase, it's because I've been through that dark space, man. And I keep it a stack with y'all. What actually brought me to this space, man? I was on the way home thinking about eating my pistol one night. This was a couple years back. So I've been in those dark spaces, bro. And I'm not even that type of dude. And it scared me so much. I was like, man, I need to get my shit together. You know what I mean? Like I need to get my head right. So I understand definitely understand the difference because I've had to live through them. So that's why I call it a phase. Living, suffering in silence should never be a way of life. And I think that's why we had these conversations and try to be welcoming to the brothers who listening. But in closing, man, what I will tell the brothers in all of your pursuits, once you get to a certain point, man, that should stop being about the material stuff. You drive nice cars and you get whatever women you really can get and start being about experiences and then helping other people. As of late, I've begun to be a lot more religious, man, just because certain things that I prayed for happened exactly the way I prayed for them. So I'm like, man, let me try to pay this forward because I'm pretty sure I didn't get put in this position to just have a whole bunch of nice shit that I'm really not even interested in anyway like that. But shout out to the brothers who are listening right now. Shout out to the brothers who are listening to the restream. Of course, as always, shout out to the esteemed panel. And all of y'all brothers be good, man.
Yo, shout out to Wrench. I want to piggyback on something he just said real quick. Salute to you for that piece of personal disclosure. We've said this repeatedly since season 1. I've got the emails, I've got the texts, I've got the DMs. So much of like me and Saul being consistent, staying on message, putting out the content. Because I can't tell you how many emails and text messages we got from people just being like, yo, I was up at 3 in the morning. I didn't even know y'all channel existed. Popped up on I was listening to one of your streams, man. Like, yo, I'm glad I found your channel. Like, pretty much like I was about to give myself a moon roof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was getting flooded with the like on some out the blue shit, like on some random. Like I didn't even know your channel is it, and this was like season 1, season 2, when people was just like, yo, I know my email don't count, but like keep making the content. Like I just wanted y'all to know that I seen stream y'all was doing last night. It's y'all saved my life. I'm just saying, I know y'all ain't got a lot of subscribers right now, but you gotta keep making content. Like it's helping people. We was getting flooded with emails like that, like first and second season. We never said nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? We kept it behind doors. But that's real shit, like the content that we make down. And I'm sure the same has happened for Wrench, man. Like a lot that suffering in silence, man. Like, a lot of brothers is out here gonna get a self moon roofs if we wasn't out here making this content. And that goes for you even if you're a small creator or a large creator. If you got a lot of subscribers or don't have a lot, because when we was getting them emails, we had like 300 subscribers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you just never know whose algorithm you gonna pop up on, and it just at that time that person needed to hear that shit. So salute to you, Branch, for bringing that up.
For sure, brother. Hey, man, I'm gonna drop down. Y'all boys be cool. And as always, man, if y'all need anything from me, man, reach out. And Theo, we'll connect tomorrow on the in Messenger, man, and get that squared away too.
Sure, no problem.
All right, man. Y'all brothers be good, man.
So on that, piggyback on what I just said, the first time somebody said to me that they were about to off themselves and they heard me on a stream, and they didn't do it, I was speechless. I didn't know what to do. I listened to it. I listened to what the guy said. I read his message. I had to go out and take a walk for a while. I was like, "Wait, I'm just." Right? That's how I think. Like I always think I'm the homeless guy. So I told him, thankful, I'm glad he's still here, and I listened. I'm trying to see where I can help him out a little bit more. And then I started getting another letter, like that, and guys who listened to me in IP, and they actually were abroad, and they were about to off themselves as well. But they saw how life was abroad, and that's what they wanted. They decided to become passport pros. I'm always silent about that. I can't believe it. I'm not doubting it, but it's hard for me to take. But like I'm thankful that God used me in that way to save somebody's life, and I'm very humble about it because I've been there. I know what that's like. And I just hope that the guys keep on going. And again, that's why I show my face. That's why I talk to people as much as I can, because I know that there's another ninja watcher listening, just like I was 2013, 2012. When I was really going through in 2015. I needed that daily content for someone to keep on saying so that I could have a guidance and get through it. So hats off to you guys who keep on doing this. I really need to do this as much as possible. And all the content creators who go out there and make this, again, 2 o'clock in the morning, much as, yeah, you're up. You're doing. I'm watching you. I'm rolling over in bed. I should get the iPad out. I watch your channel, and I was like, "Wow, that's really cool content." But we again, hats off, and just guys keep it going. Let's just keep on trying to help guys, right? And on that note, I have to go to sleep because I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. So, peace.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Last but not least, no, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Naaman, you still with us, bro?
Of course.
Oh, right. All right. There it is.
Okay, so something I want to share. I wish Theo and Brent Turner were here to listen to this, but maybe if they listen to the recording, they may hear what I have to say. I just wanted to say, especially for Theo, that what Theo has done for so many people, I don't think there is enough gratitude for that. And even I believe this year, and so like whenever he's planning on either this year or next year moving overseas, I think that really would be the catalyst that I'm looking forward to for him living overseas and basically changing a testimony into a revelation for a lot of people in this space where there's all the stigma about either passport bros or people in general that men are like not, I guess, good citizens, or they're not carrying their load or whatever. Like all those things are going to start going away because people are going to start showing receipts. 2025 going forward, people are going to start showing receipts that look at the progress that has been made. The only issue is, like what Wrench was saying earlier, that unfortunately there are more postgraduate people arguing with fifth graders. And to that, I just want to say there is no reason to argue with fifth graders. Just do your thing, show the receipts, and let these people see where the resources are going, because that's what's going to happen inevitably anyways. And to something that Reed was saying about a lot of men suffer in silence, I just want to say that if you guys ever watched the movie Constantine, Isabel had to first accept and acknowledge that what she was going through because of her sister's death. And she believed that, my sister did not die through suicide. And even though she did, but she made up her mind about it that she did not, even though she did. But just that faith of believing that, hey, there is the other option, she started seeking for answers, and that's how she ran into Constantine. And Constantine was not willing to help her right away. It took some convincing for him to help her. And I think for most guys, you have to believe in yourself that regardless of what you're going through, whatever your problem is, the good thing about men really is actually men sympathize and empathize better. we can look at another man and see the pain that the other man is going through. And especially for somebody who is an older guy, they can always look at a young guy and coach and mentor that person. Why? Because a guy who is much older knows what it takes because he's been through those pain and experiences. So if you feel some type of way that you have nobody to share something with, there's always a person there to listen to what you have to say, and you should never feel that you have to suffer in silence. And with that, I'm going to end my piece.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. And you're absolutely right. Well, no, I'll wait. I'll wait. Cody, what you got for me, brother?
Well, as he said just now, and as soon as he said something about postgraduates arguing with fifth graders, it made me think of the quote of Mark Twain. And what his quote was, if you, how you say, don't argue with somebody or something like that, they'll bring you down to their level and they'll beat you with experience. And that's exactly what they're trying to do, is bring you down to their level so they can beat you with their experience with. So the goal is to ignore those people and continue on doing what you're supposed to do and continue to shine. Because eventually they're going to hate the glare anyway. And I land my plane there.
All right. Excellent point. Excellent point. They will bring you down to that level, and they will. They definitely will beat you with that experience of being petty and vindictive. Just no. Okay, let me stop. Quiet storm. Big bro, what you got, homie?
So I'll clean this up and wrap this thing up for you. I'll reference this back to last week. Shout out to Uncle D when he was outside. Brothers, 2025 is set up tailor-made for you. The question is, in 2025, what are you going to do? And everything is lined up for you. You hear week after week, day after day, month after month, testimony after testimony after testimony. You're hearing it from multiple brothers out here, scattered all over the globe. I don't think that you heard about this contractor, but I met Saul last week for the first time. And I chopped it up with Saul. And Saul acts the same way as he does online in real person. Good brother. And I said it earlier. I wish there was 1,000 Sauls up in this world.
Damn.
You have everything that you need here. And I can't stress this enough. I have followed content creators all over YouTube. Wrench knows this very well. Me and him kind of moderate some of the same exact channels. A lot of them are heavyweight channels. A lot of them are big channels, but a lot of them are black men. And everyone that we follow, they deliver some type of message, whether it's to be fatherhood, masculinity, well-researched, image and style, leaving the country, networking, building up business, STEM and tech, whatever it is that you want to do. So I come back to my original question, brothers. In 2025, what are you going to do? And I'll end it with this. This is a code that I live by. Shout out to Broken Blade on this because he always says it right at the end. #code. It referenced me back to a movie that we've all grew up and watched. It's called White Men Can't Jump. Right at the end of the movie, they had just finished beating King Farouk and Duck Johnson. They was at the beach in Santa Monica. They had just got paid. and Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson was walking, and Wesley Snipes was talking to Woody Harrelson, and those same brothers up at the beginning of the movie that was singing up in the movie, they were singing again. Wesley Snipes walked by. They had their little offering jar as they were singing, and if you notice up in the movie, King Farouk was singing with them in that scene. Wesley Snipes gave them a little bit of money, and Woody Harrelson looked at him and he said, you gave him a 20? Wesley Snipes said, yes. He asked him again, you gave them a $20 bill? Wesley Snipes said, yes. And he stood up on one of the concrete slabs and he said, if I don't take care of my brothers, who will? And I've lived by that saying ever since I was 13 years old. And it grew on me through the military, and then it leaked over into the sector here. You already know my story about Stoic. You already know how I met Naaman. You already know how I chop it up with machismo up on the back end or whatever like that. And you've seen the evidence of the brothers that I've helped in the past. So I ask you guys one last time. It's 2025. What are you going to do? And I'll land my plane there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Damn. See, I done boxed my own goddamn self in now. Shit. I boxed my own self in. I gotta say something profound now. Messing with y'all. Oh, God. I appreciate my brothers for coming up again on another Wednesday and having a check-in call. Everything is okay with Machismo, even though he's out the country, and Keisha and them swore to God that he was gonna be taken advantage of, and scopamine and all that was gonna happen to him. It ain't happened. I appreciate everyone that came through in the chat. I appreciate Theo. I appreciate Nomad. I appreciate Cody. I appreciate all y'all for sharing your information and your stories, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Kind of similar to Wrench. I was in a dark place my damn self, and that barrel started looking, appealing. But I said no, and then I started changing my life. So I know exactly where you're coming from, bro. I do. I just try my best to not get back to that dark place. So it's fucked up. And I, from the bottom of my heart, yo, I feel that shit. I feel that. You talking to another real one right here that, yeah, I thought about it my damn self. I didn't go through with it. That's the difference. I didn't go through with it. Nah. Thank you to my brothers for sharing. Thank you to everyone for joining the call. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. Because these stories and this information, I guarantee you, it will save lives. I just didn't set it. I ain't set up a whole thing where we got the email out there and I can receive them, because I can't deal with all that right now. I got too much other shit going on. You know what I mean? And it's been another amazing check-in. Like, you can't make this shit up. Kia said it, and it's fucking true. Like, you can't make this shit up. Ain't nobody lying. There is a life outside of this shit here called the United States of America. And you could get you a good old slice of it. But you gotta choose it, though. To my brothers, I'm gonna drop them down, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out. And yeah, we'll end it like that. So Irvin Reed said, "Bring back Saul's red pill." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. You brothers, I don't know a better group of men. I don't, dog. Like, it's been amazing. It's been amazing meeting y'all and having these conversations. Because a part of what Rich touched on was not suffering in silence. The gynocracy makes you believe that it's just you. It's just you. And nigga, you ain't never gonna be good enough. You always gonna be less than. Straight up. But that ain't what it is. What it is there's a life in freedom. You brothers be easy. Y'all be smooth. Y'all have a great, productive goddamn day tomorrow. And for all those on the replay gang, we kept you in mind. I ain't got no drops like Machismo. I can't play fuck all you hoes, but what I can do is tell you, fuck all them hoes. Keep your shit pushing, no matter what. Be productive, no matter what. And get ready to get the fuck up out of here. No matter what. It is what the fuck it is. You brothers be easy. Y'all have a good night. It is officially 3 hours and 8 minutes in. It is 1:53 in the morning, and we done. We done. We'll get back at you. Peace, fam. Peace. My brothers. Bunch of dangerous men that ain't fucking around. There it is. There it is. We out, y'all. Gone.